Slough Town match commentaries, brought to you by the worldwide internet football community, MyFootball.
Good afternoon and welcome to Rebels Radio. We are back home at Holloways Park.
Yes, thankfully.
Thankfully, it's been a while, hasn't it, really?
Yes, it has, and it's nice not to be spending loads of money travelling all over the country. Well, it's a lovely country to travel.
Yeah.
Unless it's a day like today.
Welcome along any first-time listeners. We're just waiting for the two teams to come out onto the pitch from the right-hand side here at Holloways. Kev, the physio for Slough Town, dressed in his black coat, carrying all his equipment's just making his way out. It's a very wet and blustery day here in Beaconsfield this afternoon, isn't it? The floodlights are already on. That's how dark it is, and the clouds are moving at pace across the top.
It looks like it's just about to stop raining at the moment. It's been hammering it down for the last 20 odd minutes, and it looks like it's actually stopped.
It does look like it stopped. On the far side, the Slough management team are just making their way through to the dugout, and we're just awaiting the players, as we say. Let's take you quickly through the two teams. In goal for Slough, playing his final game of the loan period, Alexander Gogic. 2, Sean Fraser. 3, Ryan Parsons. 4, Billy Jeffries. 5, Rhys Shawk. 6, Guy Hollis. 7, Luke Knight. 8, James McClurg and captain. 9, Scott Harris. 10, Ed Smith. And 11, Tom Moran. And on the bench, returning, number 12, Adrian Sear. 14, Jake Parsons. 15, Johnny Dyer. And 16, Ben Edwards.
The linesmen's have got new flags. They've got red and yellow square.
They look like
flags.
they're check flags. That's exciting.
Yeah, they don't normally have the same one, though, do they? One normally has a different one.
And
do you want me to do the visitors?
Yeah, go away. Go for it.
Right. Kyle Phillips is in goal.
Who for?
Paulton Rovers.
Oh, thank you.
Wearing purple, I think it's maroon it's described
It's
as.
their home kit anyway.
Yeah. 2 is Stuart Tovey. 3, Jordan Walker. 4 is Shane Anson. 4 and captain is Scott Bryce. 6 is Brandon Barnes. 7, Ollie Knowles. 8, Mike Bryant. 9, Scott Wilson. 10 is John Davies. 11 is Dean Evans. And only 3 subs for the Rovers today. They are 12, Darren Jeffries. 14, Elliot Gibson. And 15, Josh Jeffries.
And the referee, Sean Barry, assisted by Carl Tribe and Thomas Harkin. The Slough under-9s, coached by Slough left-back, first-team player Ryan Parsons, are on the pitch as well, all lining up with the referees for photos.
Again, absolutely so.
Slough are lining up in the far end, down to our left-hand side, so they look like they're going to carry on with this habit of trying to shoot first half up towards the covered terrace end at the right-hand side here at Beaconsfield. Before kick-off, we're going to have to go silent for a couple of minutes. There is the Remembrance silence.
Remembrance Sunday silence.
Yeah, so perhaps the best couple of minutes of radio you'll hear this season, but please don't retune, please don't think we're actually broken or anything like that.
Not like last week.
Not like on some other occasions when Wi-Fi lets us down. But we will get underway shortly. But I can see Sean Barry and the two teams just gathering on the edge of the semicircle, and so we're going to await the silence shortly. Slough in the left-hand half, as I say, just moving around, amber shirts, blue shorts, blue socks, and Paulton dressed all in kind of a maroon, I would say.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for... I can't see his number. It looks like number 2 on the far side. Is the Paulton Rovers players getting treatment already?
I think it may be tape he's after at the moment to do his shin pad. As the female physio there on the far side, just dealing with him. It is really horrid. The stand that we're sat in, the covered stand that we're sat in on the near side of the pitch is well populated this afternoon. A little bit more so than normal, I think, due to the conditions. And certainly all non-covered areas of the ground aren't so covered. Aren't so well populated. As we're just waiting for the players to gather in, so we will about to start the minute silence. The skippers are just shaking. McClurg being very much outshadowed by the very tall physical presence of Scott Bryce for Paulton.
Is that because you're saying he's slightly overweight?
No, he's tall, he's big, isn't
really?
he? Yeah.
Okay, I thought he was slightly overweight.
I wasn't going to say that about
Sorry,
him.
anyone that's related to Scott Bryce, but it just looks a bit podgier than the usual.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, these two teams drew 2-2 earlier in the season, and Paulton came out firing that day. We're just waiting for the toss to be won and seeing whether we're staying as we are. It looks like we are staying as we are, and we're going to get ready for the 2-minute silence. So if you hopefully just bear with us for a couple of seconds, and we'll go through the silence. We're just waiting for the referee to get it underway. Sean Barry. An impeccably marked silence there. Rain teeming down, as you may have been able to hear on the open microphone. It was certainly hit off the top of the stand that we're in, and Slough are just lining up to our left-hand side, and we're almost ready to get this Southern Premier League
just
underway.
got to mention the under-9s there who joined the players impeccably. Not a single one of them making noise. They copied the Slough players with their arms linked, and those under-9s can be very proud of themselves.
And it's, absolute foul weather, kind of driving rain sideways, which slightly, I think the wind's probably slightly at Slough's backs this first half, as they'll be shooting from left to right, slightly up the hill. And Paulton, interestingly, from kick-off, have put 3 players in the
like
in
a
the
rugby
very
kind of kick-off,
yeah,
isn't it, where you go for the space down, or American football.
We've got
have we got some American fans listening today?
Yes, I hope we have got some American fans. Welcome along if you're listening. It is a little bit of non-league commentary for non-league soccer in the UK, as it looks like the 3 left-sided players of Evans, Barnes and Walker are advancing down the left, and chested back by Jeffries. Guy Hollis slants the ball forward, and it's returned again by Walker back into the Slough half. Hollis up for the header, wins it well, but it only falls as far as Barnes. And Paulton pushing in the first 30 seconds.
He's dummied him.
Nutmegs, I think it was past Reshawk, and all the way through to Goggett, just all in a bright royal blue down to our left-hand side.
I believe that the word soccer comes from the Football Association, and that's where it comes from.
Yeah, if you want to contact us at all today during the game, please do so. The Twitter hashtag, or sorry, not hashtag, name to contact is at MyFC Rebels Radio. We'll give you a mention, let us know where you're watching and what you're doing on this rather dark, blustery evening in deepest, darkest England over here. As Slough have an attacking throw in which Fraser will take, near side, into Ed Smith, flicks it on in the direction of Harris. It's fallen to Harris. Harris is fighting for it in the area, out to Fraser. Fraser chips it across towards the back post. It's going to go all the way out to Ryan Parsons on the far side, who just nips in front of John Davies on the far side, tucks it back inside to Tom Moran, the new centre midfield dynamo, who's just battling for the ball, passes it all the way back to Reece York. Very bright orange boots on the far side, down in front of the away dugout. Long ball forward through to Ed Smith, flicked on and very well held, athletically held, one-handed by by Carl Phillips, the Paulton goalkeeper.
I have to mention that on the coach back from Margate last week, I'm not going to mention the 2 people's names, but they had a conversation of they felt sorry for Tom Moran on Saturday because he didn't play, because Billy Jeffries and Tom Moran look a little bit alike. They didn't realise that both of them were on the pitch at the same time.
Okay, that's. I'm
not going to say anything about the club shop Sue and her husband Aidan. It wasn't them at all.
Okay, so it definitely wasn't Sue and Aidan. That is good to know, as the visibility conditions get even worse here. There's plenty of umbrellas up around the ground as the game's yet to settle down. A long ball through from Reshawk down into the left-hand corner of the Paulton half, which has Phillips scampering outside his box, just going to try and run it inside before Scott Harris closes him down. And we're just kind of a couple of minutes into the game, sort of. And I wouldn't want to be the cameraman today. If you're from MyFC and if you see the highlights at all, he has a pretty unfortunate job, I would say, because he's on the far side. He's reasonably well covered, but it is an absolute beast of an afternoon here. Is Luke Knight scrambling around in midfield with James McClurg, and then does a superb dive. I'd say a 6 out of 10 as Knowles just clips him.
Or if you're a Strictly Come Dancing fan, 7!
Okay, I'm not sure exactly what's going on. I think the silence may have gone to Adrian's head. But please do contact us. Let us know where you're listening and what's going on. As Slough have taken the free kick early, out to left wing-back Parsons, cuts inside onto his right foot, but overcooks the ball. And Paulton will have the opportunity to win it away. But Tom Moran sticks out a leg. Gives
away a free kick, though.
Gives away a free kick. I think this isn't the day to commit and slide, although you could slide a long, long way on this pitch. There's a lot of grass. It's a nice, decent, flat surface.
Referee's got to take into account the consideration. The conditions are terrible. It really is. It's very difficult to describe. It is persistent rain, shall we say?
Yeah, and it was due. It was forecast, but I suspect it will have a bearing on the crowd this afternoon. There's a good number up behind that goal to our right side to where the Slough fans are. There's a man in front of us giving us a bit of looks. I'm not sure what that's all about.
Okay.
No,
it's not one of our fans, is it, from our fan club?
I don't think it's anyone from our fan club.
Maybe he's a new sponsor for Rebels Radio, just to remind people that you can sponsor this lovely radio show.
Yeah, if that's
Aston Martin, Jaguar, Ferrari.
You're just after all these sponsors as the rain continues to come down here.
I'll have a pack of After 8 mints or something. That's fine by me.
I thought you were looking for an alcoholic sponsor. Not that we would obviously contain that. Drink responsibly, people, wherever you are. Ball's back in play. Reshawk defending just up towards his halfway line, but Paulton pushing the ball out to the right hand side. They're keeping the ball well, and there seems to be quite a lot of space out there as Tovey drives the ball up the line, but well met by York. Into the midfield, Clergy takes it on one knee, advancing towards the halfway line, looking to play in towards Fraser, but comes out right to right back Jeffries. Jeffries under a little bit of pressure plays a long ball up in the direction of Harris, and Harris has gambled, and he's going to get that ball. Careful of the zip on, manages to control it down in the far right hand corner, crosses it across. Ed Smith volley, and it's hit the outside of the post.
He's hit the angle of the crossbar and post there on the volley.
Yeah, but that was
beaten as well.
Great ball over the top there, a long ball down the line to the right hand quarter by Jeffries, and Harris did well to keep it in. And first time, you took one touch, first time snapshot cross, and Ed Smith coming in at the inner post. They're combining well over these recent weeks.
Poor linesman running in front of us. The wind and rain is going straight into his face as he's running up to the halfway line.
As that kick from Phillips goes straight out of play, and it looks like Jeffries, who looks rather more like Moran. They could be brothers.
I tell you what, if I was that linesman, I'd be tempted to have that flag up and keep it from getting me head wet.
As Guy Hollis, the third of the centre-backs, Slough again going for this 3-5-2 formation that worked so well in that 2-0 victory away to Margate in the trophy last week. Next week they're at home to Merthyr. That's the draw for the next round, a replay of last year's first qualifying round, as Luke Knight just leaves his foot in there on a challenge as someone's trying to clear it. I think there was a little bit of a meal made of it, but they're asking, the left-back Walker's just asking a little bit of the linesman, just saying flag.
Was on Mike Bryant, got a big click, and the rain stopped.
And all of a sudden, as if by magic, the showers have gone.
Don't think anyone's getting that ball though.
No, the ball still seems to remain just over the other side, and some of the Slough fans just giving a little bit of advice there to Walker, who seems to be trying to make a little bit of what's going on. And we just hear a police siren zooming down the M40 behind us.
Yep.
Good. Hey, you're adding a lot, aren't you?
I don't know how you can tell it's a police siren. It's just a siren.
They've got different noises.
Do
you not know that?
I don't know.
As we wait for Phillips, dressed in green shirt, black shorts and white socks, to take the kick, and he's clicked it straight up down Rhys Yorkson's throat, and he's headed it back all the way to Ed Smith. And now Luke Knight, good first touch, advancing over the halfway line, tries to play it to Parsons, who out sprints his opposition number there, back to Luke Knight, and the ball's in the area with Scott Harris, right hand side, back to Parsons, blocked. And into the burger van!
He's got it into the burger van.
Ricocheted off the Paulton player and actually fully into the burger van. That was like a pinball shot.
The burger vans, they believe, they haven't got it back. It's still it's supposed to be gone in the deep fat
It's
fryer.
cooking. It's
she's
thrown
it out.
It hasn't worked.
It's hit her friend on the head and gone back straight in. She's just hit her in the face.
And now it's got some cheese on it.
They've got pork today. Got pork and apple baps in there.
Have they indeed? You talk about your own pool. As Guy Hollis, long throw in, beats every player, and it's all the way out through to the far side here, and it's going to be Barnes to bring it away on the left-hand flank with red undershorts under his purple shorts. I'm not sure that's fully allowed, but he's going for it. But he seems to be operating down the left-hand berth, just passing the ball on to Walker. Well, now Walker's having a run at Fraser down the far side, and Fraser's committed himself. He's chipped the ball through. It's a great chip. It's going towards the far post. The run by Davis didn't quite make it, and it's all the way through safely to Gogic.
Good goalkeeping by Gogic there. He had the chance. He could have come out and got that, and he would have. That ball would have creeped in if no one had touched it. He did well there.
Creep or crept, any of those sorts of things, whatever you like. As the ball's all the way through to Ed Smith. Now he's up against Captain Bryce down in the far corner. Cuts inside. Bryce goes to ground, but the ball's still with Ed Smith. Ed Smith advancing into the edge of the box. Out left to Parsons. Parsons under a bit of pressure.
He's got no help.
Plays it against the defender, and I think that's going to be the first corner of the game as the rain intensifies again. As we've played about 7 minutes or so of the first half.
About 9 minutes, I reckon.
Okay, we're just working it down. As once again, the heavens are absolutely opening here. And the recently aged 40-year-old John Underwood over the far side, you can see the light shining off that floodlight above that dugout off his head. As
very nice. It's true, but it's not very nice.
It's consistent, isn't it? As the referee's just, I think, asking for him to hold up, is he?
I think maybe he's gone to the burger van.
Oh, and the referee's now happy that Luke Knight's about to take the corner from the far side.
He must have listened to our broadcast where Luke Knight was taken out of the quadrant last week.
Luke Knight drilled it across the floor, well dealt with at the front post by Tovey, but it's only out for an attacking Slough throw-in on the far side, which John Underwood just feels the ball, and the rain is absolutely lashing down here at Holloways. Please do contact us at MyFC Rebels Radio or hashtag Rebels Radio perhaps, and we'll see if we can get something. Ball back in play now with on the far side, Ryan Parsons can't quite control it, and it will be a Paulton throw-in on the far side. They'll have the opportunity to clear it, which Slough have seemed quite brighten up for this in the first few minutes. Yeah,
but Paulton do look a little bit dangerous on the counter-attack. They're using their right back and left back very well.
Long ball forward. Once again, that great commanding figure of Rhys York through, hooked forward by Harris, headed well back by Captain Bryce, and it's safely in the arms of Philip. Bryce, a strong, no-nonsense captain at the back for Paulton.
I believe so.
Yeah. Are you tired today, Ade? You don't seem to have
shattered.
much. You don't seem to have much about you. Have you lost your mojo?
Yes.
Where's it gone?
I don't know. If you find anyone, please let me know.
Okay. Answers on a postcard too. My FC Rebels Radio.
You're not missing much. There's not a lot going on the pitch. The ball's out for a far side. Give this little chance to speak to Matty Bonnet, who's the under-18s goalkeeper who broke his leg
Once again.
last season in 3 places. Unfortunately, broke it this week, playing for the under-18s. So the poor guy's not going through much luck at the moment. So head up, Matty.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of feeling about...
Don't get yourself in trouble. Oh!
As Paulton breaking into the box, and it's cut back, but well dealt with by Fraser, who thumps the ball clear and long, but Paulton's suddenly on the break there.
That's Guy Hollis.
Oh, was it Guy Hollis?
Yeah.
They've all got orange boots now. And
Offside.
an offside flag goes up to save Slough there, but a little bit of pressure quickly coming from Paulton. Carry on about Matty Bonnet.
Ollie Knowles there with the great play, just getting behind the back three of Slough. Pulled it back, but well done to Guy Hollis. Good defending.
Thank you. We're just so
What is Sean Fraser wearing on his feet? He's got those boots that are like orange on the inside and blue on the outside with orange laces.
There's quite a lot of orange boots out there on display. As the free kick goes forward, but it's only flicked out by...
If anyone knows Sean Fraser and they're listening, please have a word about his boots. They are absolutely terrible.
Thank you for that.
It's the brightest thing on the entire pitch, his boots.
What, are you saying that footballers aren't very clever? As the ball gets played through in the direction of
say
Scott
that,
Harris,
mate.
but it's back to Tom Moran in midfield. He's got plenty of time to pick a pass. He passes it out to Luke Knight, just in the left midfield position. Inside to Parsons, right up on the far... Cuts inside, just on the far side. Not a lot of Slough options. Struggling to find a pass into Scott Harris's feet. Tries to combine with Luke Knight. It's back to Fraser, who's come
he's
back from an
offside.
offside position. Fraser came back from an offside position, but that was better. Slough at least trying to hunt down and play football in packs.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ronaldo the other night, great player, he's wearing black boots. Why do you have to wear coloured boots? They're horrible. It's even got, on the underside of his boots, are orange as well.
Have you been standing round Mick too long?
No.
Are you sure that's
Positive.
that sort of Mick's sort of saying? Just some kind of interesting facts around Paulton. As yet, they haven't won on the road all season. Is that a jinx?
No, it just means they're not very good away from home.
No, they've picked up 3 points in all their games.
So that means they're going to win today.
Scored only 5 goals, and yeah, they're yet to win on the road today out of their games. As the ball's being played in on the far side towards Barnes. Barnes takes it down on the left-hand edge of the box, pass it across the feet. It's ricocheting around everywhere, and it's all the way back out left to Brandon Barnes again in the corner flag, up against Jeffries, all the way back to Walker in the left-back position. Chips the ball, plays the ball in towards the feet, and is he going to have space to turn on the edge of the box? He does, but he's closed down, and it's out the ground, hit the tree, and that wouldn't even be 3 points in rugby, would it?
No.
But a bit of a chance for Wilson there.
That's more like an Aussie rules shot. That was he'd got a point for that in Aussie rules.
Yeah, a little bit of a chance there for Wilson. Paul's games, I understand, looking on Twitter, one of the first games in the division that have actually have suffered a little bit. I guess they've probably had a lot more of that rain that we've just recently had, and their ground hasn't been quite up to dealing with it. So that a game abandoned, which is unusual, but I guess it's going to come. I don't think you ever have that issue here at Holloways, and Slough in the next month or so have, I think, 5 games at home, including the Merthyr FA Trophy game next weekend.
Yes, that's correct. Apparently it's because we're on a chalk line somewhere. I don't know if you drive down the M40, but it's full of chalk everywhere. That's
as Luke Knight breaks through towards the edge of the box,
quickly.
but it's well cleared by Bryce. Only out as far as Jeffries on the halfway line. Slough penning back Paulton. Plenty of time for McClurg in the middle to pick a pass. Short one through to Knight, who gets tackled there well by Anston, the ex-Cirencester captain, who's made that short trip across to Paulton from Cirencester. Midway during this season, I seem to remember he had a decent throw on him when we played Cirencester last year, and I think he might have played right back. Clear header for him now as he heads it away to the edge of the box, but Paulton just struggling a little bit to clear their lines and hook it upfield. Repelled there well by York, and now Fraser just does well to skip ahead of Walker, controls the ball, and now Harris in the far right-hand corner. Going to have a moment to take a touch, crosses it in, but it's blocked by Walker, and Slough will have another corner on the near side.
Yes, good play by Scott Harris, and even though Sean Fraser's got those horrible boots on, he did well to win the ball, but...
I don't think you can hold his boots against him.
Of course, I can hold his tasting boots against him, that's for sure. Luke Knight is going over, and he's got orange insides. Oh, I don't know what's wrong with these footballers nowadays.
I think you're just grumpy, if I'm honest with you. as the Rebels fans behind that goal all sheltered. There's a good number of them, maybe 100, 150, all under there. Quite a few stewards in there as well. We're just waiting for this right foot outswing corner from Luke Knight. Drives it in again low towards Ed Smith. Takes a touch, but it's on the up the whole way, and it was well wide of the ground. And Ed Smith just pointing it where he wanted it. He wanted it a little bit lower.
On the roof.
And the ball is stuck on the roof. So we've got one ball just down behind the linesman out there.
It's still there.
Yeah,
one ball out of the ground over there. That someone's just. Oh, he's just got it down there.
There we go. It's all
Slough
excitement
must
here.
have the oldest ball boys in the entire country.
Well, Tom used to do it a little bit, didn't he? Do you remember?
Yeah, I don't know if he's still here today.
No, I'm not. But that other ball out there is annoying you, isn't it, Ade? I can tell.
Do you know what? I couldn't really see it because the window on the side's so dirty you can't see it from there.
As Phillips drives the ball long forward into the wind, Hollis underneath it, having a little battle there against Wilson, and well won. And Reshawk, no nonsense, left-footed aerial ball all the way through, and it has Ed Smith chasing after Walker. It's kicked on, and it's kicking down towards the corner. Walker's taken a touch. He's under a bit of pressure from Ed Smith there. He's going to go back to Anston on the edge of his 18-yard box. Tries to cross it. Blocked by Ed Smith as he crossed it, and it spun all the way across and nearly went over Phillips's head, but spun all the way across towards the corner flag. That was a chance it had Adrian excited anyway.
I just didn't expect. He just credit to Ed Smith there. He's closed that down one. He's just stuck his foot out, and Phillips would have been beaten if that was on target.
Yeah, as I think Daniel Darlington from the local papers here this afternoon, he seems to be tweeting a little bit about the game, and as he's saying, Tom Moran playing the Matic holding role, midfield role for Slough Town. He's obviously watching a lot of non-league football. He thinks Matic's playing. Oh Jesus! Earlier game, I understand Chelsea won 2-1, did they?
Apparently so. Diego Costa with the winner.
Diego Costa can't stop scoring, can he? As Fraser looks to be making his way across to take a free kick awarded to Slough just from the clearance. It's going to be Parsons on the halfway line. The bench for Paulton away just looks like two coaches stood at either end, and all the subs are out of it. So it looks a bit of an empty, sorry scene as left foot Parsons dinks a ball up towards the edge of the box. York trying to win underneath it, but it falls to Bryce. McClurg picks it up edge of the box, and now it's with Moran. Moran will look to chip the ball back in towards the edge of the box, but it's repelled well by Barnes, and it will be out for a Slough throw. And Slough on top here, I'd say, after this first 16, 17 minutes or so.
Yeah, had the better chances, looking the better team, could, adapting to these terrible conditions a little bit better. As someone finally comes. No, not getting the ball. No, he's going to walk away.
No. As the referee, Mr. Barry, just wants to make sure the thrown's taken from exactly the right place, and it's being passed the mantle from Fraser to Jeffries. That's the Jeffries for Slough. If you're tuning in from Paulton, both Darren and Josh Jeffries on the bench for Paulton, but as yet no real significant threat from Paulton, and rather typical of their afternoon so far. Wilson plays a blind ball that he received out to the right-hand side, and it was to no one in particular. Gives Parsons the opportunity to dink the ball in, and he sliced it. And it was a cross, but it actually just was diving under the far post. And the keeper there, Phillips, did extremely well. Used all of his tall frame to just tip it over the bar.
Yeah, I mean it can't be easy with that ground being so soft. It's difficult to get some foot in there. Yeah, and he's done well to just poke that over the top.
I think Parsons would have taken that all day long, wouldn't he? If he'd have scored there.
We've got latest score is Bury 0, Hemel Hempstead 1.
Oh, that's
in the FA Cup.
Luke Knight outswinging corner, still goalless here at Holloways.
Just equalised. Sorry.
Luke Knight outswinger. Well headed up in the air away by Anson, and now helped on its way further by Barnes, but it's only as far as McClurg. Edge of the box, low driven shot, hits Harris and blocked, and is now hooked away by Barnes. And Slough really putting them under pressure here at the moment.
Jamie McClurg done really well there.
Work back, gives it back to Hollis. Hollis all the way back to Gogic, who hasn't had a lot to do so far.
No, I mean Hollis there was with Wilson going for the ball, but McClurg just ran back and made sure he was first to that.
Yeah,
pass out there by Gogic to Ryan Parsons.
Yeah, he's. I think today's conditions and the pitch will suit him here. He's very accomplished and good with his feet on a nice, good surface. If the elder Gogic are listening from back in America, I think New Jersey sort of direction, you're welcome along.
Luke Knight just jumped up with two arms straight up to try and get the ball, but
as Luke. Reshawk makes his back a bit muddy there as he slides and cuts out a through ball, and Paulton playing with a little bit of tempo here, trying to get the game going. Walker on the near side wants it, but it's a long ball, and York just heads it up in the air, and now it's the battle of the two sevens in the midfield, and this time Knight wins it, but back comes that man Knowles, and Knowles does well, and then Luke Knight left his foot on Knowles as Knowles. It was a good battle there. Knowles obviously a little bit taller.
That's Bryant.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was number 7.
No, that was number 8.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
You was right, but Bryant closed him down, and he was the one that Knight Knight took down.
Yes, yeah.
But good referee in there, because that could have been. Some referees might have given that as a yellow card. It did look worse than it was, but well done, referee.
Yeah, Paulton seemed to be playing almost a 4-5-1 away from home, with the front man of Wilson, and then Evans in the middle of the park with Bryant and Knowles, and then Barnes on one wing and Davies on the other wing. So it's an interesting formation, but the ball's... That free kick comes to Knight, and Harris is battling away towards the halfway line. Gets up quicker, so plays it through to Knight, but it's going to run away from Knight. He's putting Captain Bryce under a lot of pressure. Bryce picks up the ball, thinks about throwing it quickly back to his keeper, but settles down. We've played nearly 20 minutes here at Holloways. It remains goalless. Plenty of chances, though. The keeper for Paulton Rovers, the visitors today, Carl Phillips, been pulled into action a number of times, and Luke Knight again tries to win the ball back, but Paulton in the middle of midfield outnumber him, and a long ball play through to Wilson. It's harmlessly all the way out to a goal kick to Slough down to our left hand side as the rain starts petering down again.
Yes, and do feel sorry for any Doncaster Rovers fans that have been to football today. They were away to Western Supermare in the FA Cup. Quite a long way to go, and the game was called off at 2 o'clock after pitch inspection starting from about 8 in the morning, apparently. So those poor people have travelled all that distance only to find the game called off.
That's that's not a nice position to be in, and we'll hope that this game will make the duration, as Paulton have a throw just inside the Slough half on the far side, waiting for play to get underway, playing in the direction of the wind and things, and a header through, guided out by Rhys York, and the qualities kind of living up to the weather at the moment. It's just a little bit lacking in this first 20 minutes or so. There's been a few moments, good combination between Harris and Smith. Smith almost scored, hit the angle of post and bar, and then a cross shot by Parsons, which had Phillips scrambling back, and then a chance where Paulton got into the box quite easily, but well cleared in the end by Slough.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I was going to say the same, sorry for all those Burnham fans that have travelled all the way down to Poole today, but as there aren't any Burnham fans, I don't think they'd be worried about that.
As there's plenty of chat on the MyFC forum about Ponzi colour boots, as they're being called. Each to their own, I guess. As Slough have the ball in the Paulton half. Parsons on the far side crosses it in towards Ed Smith. Ed Smith tangling with Anson there. The ball in midfield, and Tom Moran does well to beat two players and driving towards the edge of the box. He looks to pull the shot, but he plays the ball through, overhits it in the direction of Scott Harris.
Down, John Davies.
Davies on the far side. I
think he's just signalled that he needs attention.
Yeah, so Davies is on his bottom, just inside his half on the far right-hand side. The referee today, Sean Barry, hasn't had much to do so far. He's let a few feisty challenges go, but I think it's more symptomatic of the weather than any ulterior motives here. But he's just needed some treatment from the female physio on the far side, just coming across, and Skipper Bryce goes over in his maroon kit to just go and have a little word with him as we wait to see what's happening. But they won't. I don't think any player will just stay down for the sake of staying down today, will they?
No, not with without being rude, he'll get a wet bottom. He'll have a soggy bottom, as Mary Berry would say.
Thank you very much.
Sorry,
you are.
I just thought it'd be a bit more topical.
Biggleswade have hit the post against Dorchester in one of the other games around.
I believe that Cambridge are the only team so far in our league to score a goal so far today.
Yeah, which is kind of surprising, because normally there are some good goals early on in some of the games here. As Davies on the far side, just having treatment, just having a drink as the rain kind of lashing.
Having a drink, just open your mouth, mate. There's plenty of water going in.
It's lashing down, and I do feel sorry for. I guess if you're in the stand to the right hand side and you're in the front row, you're probably almost like cannon fodder, really, for the rain. As Davies has just been helped from the pitch on the far side. I think he'll be fine to continue. He's just limping off slightly on his left leg. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll watch that. Play back underway, though, with a goal kick from Phillips on our right-hand side. And Phillips, ball holds up quite a lot in the wind, which Slough are playing with. And Rhys York comes a long way, doesn't make that one. And then a strong tackle by Jeffries on Wilson, and didn't get the ball. And Paulton will have the opportunity to get some of their big players forward. Captain Bryce, who I seem to remember from the first games, dangerous in the air, kind of with a leisurely jog up to the far back post.
Got some tall players, haven't they, Paulton?
Yeah, they're not a small side, and also
now
Anston come back.
At the back post
Harris
there.
is making a run all the way back. The ball's driven in towards the near post. It's flashed all the
post. It's in.
Post, and it's in. It's skidded off the surface, and I think
John
it's Davies
straight from the free
straight
kick.
back from the substitute bench, has scored the opener after what I would say is 23 minutes, and slightly against the run of the play. Paulton have scored on a goal.
A lot of luck about that one. I mean, he's just hit that in. No one's got a touch. Hit the far post, gone across the goal, hit the other post, and gone into the back of the net. All count, though, as they say.
Yeah, so that was given as 24 minutes by Davies, but it was, a ball angled into that kind of area of uncertainty on the far post, and it zipped off the surface. Gogic was nowhere. It hit the inside of the post, went all the way across the other side, and then just crept in on the far side of the other post. So Paulton...
Yeah, I mean, Gogic's got no chance with that. It's difficult ball for him to come to with all those players in the box. But Slough looked to get back on, and Ryan Parsons is almost in here.
And he goes for a long sliding tackle there. He got a little bit of a ball. He kept both feet up, and Bryce isn't very happy. Temper's just raised a little bit now, and Bryce got both arms out and in the ear of Mr. Barry, just to say what's going on.
That Ryan Parsons led with his foot slightly high and studs up.
Yeah, that was
just lucky that it hit his foot.
There wasn't a lot of control within that, and on today's pitch conditions with the rain just settling down for a moment, it's just lightened off at them.
It's still raining. It's a tiny little bit lighter, isn't it?
Yeah, but Paulton will be absolutely happy. Only their 6th league away goal this season, and they are still in search of that first victory as the ball's played up towards Ed Smith, buffeted by Anston, played out right by Knight to Fraser, and Fraser now having a battle up against Barnes. Barnes does well, hooks the ball down the line, and Jeffrey should have a moment to get the ball under control, holds it up to Fraser, back to Tom Moran in the midfield, chips it through to Ed Smith, well up by Anston, but it's only full of McClurg, and it's ricocheted off Anston, who smashed it against his colleague there, Bryant, and finally Paulton managed to clear up to halfway. Reece York heads the ball back forward. Luke Knight almost dives after that ball.
It's going to ricochet. There, surely.
It's a Slough thrown on the far side, which Parsons looks to get underway quickly. Slough have a certain good tempo here, but they're not going to keep a second clean sheet on a row.
And that is a bad tackle on Ryan Parsons.
And that was I think a revenge tackle, I would say.
Yeah, you're 100% right, and that's what the Paulton players are going over to say. There's a bit of pushing and shoving going there. Bryce has just gone over.
The referee just needs to be calm with this situation as Parsons lays prostrate on the far side, and I think Paulton would rightly be a little bit concerned because actually that one for Parsons did a minute ago, was very, very similar.
It was indeed, and that's what I think that Bryce was trying to say to the referee. He went over, and I think Slough have taken a bit of umbrage against the fact that they're going to try and surround the referee. It does look like he's getting a card out.
Yeah, and Bryce is just having a little word here.
It's the right back,
Tovey,
that's going to...
Yeah, Tovey's the man who's going to go into the book.
Yellow. Did he send him a red?
I don't know. I think he did.
What? He hasn't been booked?
Yeah. No, Tovey has been sent off.
Yeah, but he showed him a yellow card.
No,
he did. He clearly showed him a yellow card.
Well, unless he's been booked at another time when we haven't seen it.
How do we not see that then?
No, I don't think that's happened. I think he just sent him off.
He clearly showed him a yellow card.
No, I think it was under the lights. I genuinely think it was a red shine.
I'm not colourblind. He clearly put a yellow card.
Yeah, but he must have said he sent off because he had he
didn't
show a second card again. But
he's off. So
Paulton are down to 10 men after 26 minutes or so.
Yeah, so that is unless he's got 2 yellow cards for
the
tackle, and
maybe he said something. Yeah, maybe he just kept on chirping in the referee's ear. So that will be one to check with Sean Barry later. But
watch the highlights. If the cameraman's got it and puts on his highlights, I'm sure he showed him a yellow card.
I didn't see it, to be clear, but the result is that Paulton leading, and the 2 minutes later they're down to 10 men for what I think was a fairly similar tackle to a tackle on Parsons. And Luke Knight with a free kick, edge of the box. This game's burst into life, and it's over, and Phillips comes out to try and punch it, and Harris is defending. Paulton will get this ball clear as they play it out to Barnes. Now from this point forward, all eyes on the referees. Hollis goes through the back of Wilson, and Hollis battling in there to Wilson. Barnes inside his own half, looks to chip the ball forward.
Look at that lovely
and it's
pass.
In the direction of Davies. Davies controls it well, spins, looks to pull the trigger, and slashes it wide, but that was a good chance. Davies, the goal scorer, got into a great position, edge of the box, turned his marker and slashed the ball wide.
Yeah, great play by Brandon Barnes here on the left-hand side. Great bit of work for him. It was a great ball into him. Davies does well, turns, and after all of that skill and effort, he blasts it high and wide.
In terms of formation change, it looks like Knowles has dropped into the right back position, so they're going to adopt a 4-4-1 formation, Paulton, as we wait Gogic's kick, as the air just lightens a little bit. The referee's assistant flag in front of us.
The rain has lightened to a little bit of a tiny shower.
As Bryce comes through the back, wins the header, strong, up in the direction of Wilson. Now Wilson on to Brandon Barnes down the left-hand side, whips in a left-footed cross over the top of Davies on the far side and all the way through to Parsons, who's been at the thick of that action on about the 28th minute when it was all going off as he drives the ball forward. It's flicked on, but Harris managed to get himself back on side, and now Slough will need to adopt quickly as Moran picks up the ball in midfield, long raking ball, but no one in particular, and it's out on the far side, and Paulton will have a chance to regroup.
Yeah, I mean, Slough do... every time a team goes down to 10 men against Slough, we never seem to do very well against them. So you wonder, especially with the formation that we've got with the three at the back, where you've now got 3 centre backs marking 1 striker.
Yeah, and
so but it'd be a change as a foul throw.
And now this ball's got
and then
Luke
Knight just kicked.
Luke Knight just kicked his opponent there as he was trying to get the ball back
that
in.
was Mike Bright. He just kicked but the referees this season have been doing that, haven't they? If it's been a foul throw, they're not happy with the throw with where it's being taken. They are swapping over to the other team.
So on the half-hour mark, if you're joining us late, a goal by John Davies against the run of play set Paulton 1 goal up, but they are down to 10 men after a rash challenge on penalised against Parsons has resulted in the right back Toby being sent from the field.
Another throw for Slough. It's a bit nearer, just almost level with the T-bar.
And although the Slough fans were quite vocal during the sending off moment, they are stood there absolutely silent like they're in a museum.
There's loads of them
all
packed
down
in
that
like a
end,
tin of
and the
sardines.
team could do with
Make
their
some
support.
noise.
This is the frustration that I think some of the players feel, is that there's not shouting. It's broken the box. It's broken. It bobbled up just in front of him. You can't.
I know it did,
that. He was 6 yards from goal. The ball bobbled up, and he couldn't almost need it. But it was a wild slash, and it's over the bar.
Didn't get over it, did he? Jamie McClurg. That was a great chance for the Rebels. That one.
Yes, so all sorts going on here. The rain's been bad, the play hasn't been great quality, but there's been a goal and a sending off. So
and the Burger woman got hit in the face with the ball.
And the Burger woman got hit in the face.
Don't get that at every game. You wouldn't get that at Chelsea, would you?
No, as Banbury apparently are 1-0 up. That's a little bit of a shock there in that game that they're playing at. I think they're away today. At Bideford. A long old trip for them, and they're 1-0 up. Bideford not going particularly well. The ball back with Jeffries, takes a touch just inside his own half, closed down by Wilson, clips it up the line, and it's Harris again with that angled ball, but this time the ball's going to be, it just zipped on, and Harris is quickly passing the ball back to Phillips to get on with it, and Phillips deliberately lets it ricochet off his knees and bounce a few yards away, just to waste a little bit of time as we pass the half-hour mark. Slough trail by 1-0. A Davies free kick from outright that was whipped in towards all players, and it bounced off the surface, almost like a topspin shot in tennis, and hit the far post, bounced back across the goal and in off the other post. And that's what separates the team at the moment. Ed Smith's hit the woodwork. There's been tipped over saves by Phillips and a sending off for Tovey immediately within 90 seconds of a fierce tackle.
Wilson
from
on the ball at the far side. He gets a shot in, straight across the
and
goal.
It's dragged it wide of Gogic on the left, but there's been a touch or a deflection as a corner to Paulton on the left-hand side now.
Well, I mean, Gogic is looking at the linesman going, I didn't touch it.
So,
but that was good play by Scott Wilson there for Paulton Rovers, playing as the lone striker now, and he's done very well.
Hereford 3, Arsley 0 so far. So that's a hell of a game. Barely half an hour play. Hereford seem to blow hot and cold, but at the moment they're blowing hot in the Evo Stik Premier as we await this corner on the left-hand side. Drilled in, free header for Guy Hollis, who gets some distance on it and now has Harris interested. And Harris using his strength to hold off there.
Referee, well spotted.
Hold off Ollie Knowles as Adrian just comments on the referee as a short free kick quickly taken by McClurg. McClurg got the play back underway now, just has the ball at his feet over the halfway line, shut down by Barnes, but tries to play it and mispasses it to Scott Harris. Not on the same wavelength there, and that goal seems to have taken a little bit of the confidence out of Slough, a little bit of the swagger. They were playing at a higher tempo, and it slowed down.
Paulton aren't really, they're not really doing anything different. They've just had the ball there, and the first thing they've done is to try and look for a high ball up for
launched it long towards
Scott Wilson, but he's up there on his own playing against 3 centre backs. So it's, they've got to change their way, or otherwise they're just going to give that ball back every time they get it. Yeah,
flicked on by Smith in the direction of Harris, but Captain Bryce comes all the way through, slams that ball forward, and it's again Wilson's feet, but now a strong pass there from Reshort. Good use of the ball out to Parsons, midway inside the Paulton half. 1-2 there with Ed Smith, who just got caught after that ball went by Bryce, and Parsons shutting the ball down. He's trying to win the ball, but it's well held off by new right back Knowles, and it's a goal kick to Paulton on the far side. So we have played just shy of 35 minutes. 1-0 Paulton at the moment. They've scored their 6th away goal of the season, and they're searching for that first away victory of the season and to double their points tallies, because they've only got 3 points on the road so far.
That's the second time it's in that.
I know.
But they have got a good home record, haven't they?
Yeah, they've had back-to-back 3-0 victories at home. Last week they beat Fleet Town 3-0 at home to advance in the trophy, and the week before that, I believe, I think it may have been that they They beat, was it Hitchin? I think it may have been. Oh no, Burnham. Sorry, I think it was our local rivals Burnham. They beat a few weeks ago. Their reward for winning in the FA Trophy was a
They
rather
won the FA Trophy.
no, for winning last week in the FA Trophy. As Luke Knight breaks down the left-hand side, cuts inside, plays a low ball to Harris. Harris getting pulled back by Knowles, and that was a stupid tackle.
It's a
Knowles
free
needs to
kick
stop
just on
doing
the
that. He's
edge.
not a natural defender, and free kick to Slough, left-hand edge of the box on the sideline. He's just calling Knowles over.
Oh, rubbish referee.
Oh no, he's calling over. He's calling over Evans for saying something. Evans and Knowles both being called over, but it's Evans being called over and Knowles now just getting pulled over and saying what's going on. He is being assessed again. There was 4 of them turned up. I'm not sure what our luck is, but yeah, there was certainly 4 officials turned up.
But in the first game that we played against Paulton this season, they were 2-0 up, weren't they? And Slough came back in it.
They were.
To get back to
Luke
2-2.
Knight, ball at his feet, right foot in swing at all the players within the 6-yard box, drills it in low, but not over the first Paulton player, which is criminal in the first time. McClurg taking a touch, and now it's breaking out, and Paulton will look to hit something on the back on the break, and that's a decent ball down the channel. It has Anston chasing up against Hollis, and Gogic has come a long way out of his goal. He's just dabbed the ball out, tight, small space, and now he's calling over 11 again, I think. Or is he calling McClurg?
McClurg.
The referee is just called Barry. Is
No,
calling
it's
over
the
Howard
left back.
now.
It's
He's calling over
Walker.
Walker. He's calling over Walker to be booked.
What's going on, ref?
I think Walker said something that he didn't like. So we've played about 36 minutes, and Walker's added to the book. He's obviously saying something that he's not impressed with, and that was definitely yellow that time.
Yep.
That looked very yellow. That looked much lighter than the other yellow that apparently came out earlier, according to Ade.
Trust me.
We'll
it was
wait for the
yellow.
video evidence.
Trust me, it was yellow.
Yes, that's why you left the pitch, obviously.
Well,
As
I'll tell you what, if it wasn't a yellow, then I'm going to have great fun driving home tonight anyway at traffic lights.
Merthyr, who our next week opponents, have taken the lead 1-0 against Wantage in their Southwest Evo Stik game this afternoon. They obviously came here last season in the FA Trophy, and they won 2-1 as a strong tackle there comes in, and I believe that's Guy Hollis, and Paulton are getting in his ears about it,
he hasn't
and
got his
they're
card
moaning
out
at
though.
Barnes,
Oh, no,
but
here he comes.
is now calling over. I think it's
that's
Jeffries,
gonna
is it?
Yeah. Billy Jeffries, I think.
No, I think it's Tom Moran, is it?
I don't know. They look alike, don't they?
Yeah, no, I think it's Tom Moran. Jeffries is over the far side. Who's he calling over now? He's calling.
No.
He is booking Tom Moran. So Tom Moran goes in the book on the 37th minute. This referee's keeping us on our toes today, as there's a free kick to Paulton deep inside the Slough half on the left-hand side.
Yeah, they've only actually got 3 in the box, 4 in the box, and just 1 on the outside.
But last time they had a free kick, not in a dissimilar position. They whipped it in, it bounced up. So Slough need to attack this ball and not let it go through that channel of uncertainty as we await the kick. I think it's going
that was clever, wasn't it? Channel of uncertainty.
It's going to be Davies again, the bearded Davies with his bright orange boots, stood almost at a rugby kicking angle to the ball. A 2-man Slough wall of Luke Knight and Sean Fraser stand 10 yards away. There's no spray on the pitch, and he's going to chip it in. He chips it in towards the far post. It's headed away off the line, and it's almost repelled into the goal by Jeffries, but it's then hit away by Rhys York, I think it was. And now Slough looking to bring the ball away, but Barnes has still got it midway inside the Slough half, coming back towards his own goal and plays it all of 60 yards all the way back to
back pass ever.
Phillips. And now Ed Smith's fancying this, and it hit the keeper slips, and it's to Ed Smith, and he's off his line. Ed Smith takes composure, chips the ball, it's over. And it's wide of the empty goal with Phillips repelling himself, and the keeper blaming on someone else. But that was terrible by Phillips. He should have got red. I know he didn't necessarily want that back pass all that distance, but he tried to take a touch. He slipped over, and
I think Ed didn't realise how
much time and space he had. And the referee's just getting a little bit frustrated here. Sean Murray. He's asking about. He's saying to the
telling the keeper
just
to hurry up a little bit.
Get on with it, as he's just made a bit of an idiot of himself.
And
by coming out
Walker's
slugging.
just been booked. He's still complaining to the referee about something or other about why he's been booked. And
if he carries on that way, he'll be down to 9.
Yeah, Bryant sensibility's just come over and pushed him away and told him to shut up.
Which I think is probably sensible, because it wouldn't be the best for Paulton to go down to 9 players as we are approaching half-time. Slough still trail 1-0. Ed Smith had a glorious opportunity there with a keeper off his line, 30 yards from goal, but he put the chip shot wide of the post, but Slough
That's a
can't
good
afford
ball.
to continue to waste these chances. Gogic bowls the ball out left to Reshawk. Plenty of time and space ahead of him. Looking forward, needs to not force it, just pick a pass, but it's chipped forward and long.
That's too high.
It was poor
Too
because
high.
Scott Harris fancies a bit of a run now at Phillips after his last effort, and he's run all of 30 or 40 yards to shut him down and just let Phillips have a jog across it. But there's a little bit of gamesmanship. I seem to remember in the first game Phillips added, to one of the goals was offside, and he got booked in that game, didn't he?
He did get a little bit of abuse in the second half for his erratic performance, shall we say, from the fans behind the goal.
As Fraser heads the ball on, it finds Ed Smith, who passes behind the onrushing Luke Knight. Slough just lacking that little bit of quality. Ball's up to Wilson, who's having a hell of a game up there for Paulton, getting through lots of work. Ball out right to Davies, the goal scorer. Going to look to bring the ball in against Parsons. Plays it back to the current right back of Knowles. Knowles crosses it in, fires it in. Gogic, great save,
well.
big
Good.
hands there.
Yeah,
and
he's done
took
well
it
in those conditions to catch that and keep that in his hands. But Wilson's hanging around him. He's a very good player, Wilson. You said it a minute ago.
Balled out to Tom
playing
Moran, who
very well.
seems to be playing a little bit deeper almost.
I think he's playing right back.
Yeah, I mean, it looks almost like Slough have changed their formation slightly, but we'll have to see whether that was just that position. But it does look like...
That's another good ball down the line for Wilson to chase.
And Wilson now up against Hollis. Hollis, arms by his side. Passed inside to
Oh,
Davies.
what
Davies
is
edge of the
going
box.
on?
He skips fast too. Left foot
it's
shot and it's
2-0.
goal! The second goal for Davies. Left-footed goal on the 40th minute, I would say. And Davies adds to his total. This was no matter of luck in this. He ran past 3 or 4 Slough defenders and fired the ball low between Gogic's legs. And
Which team has got 10 men? Because I tell you what, Paulton Rovers played absolutely fantastically there. Great work by Wilson. He picked out Daves, and not a single Slough player picked him up. He's walked straight through, blasted it past Gogic. And the Slough defenders have got to be looking at themselves and saying, how the heck did that happen?
Certainly plenty of work for Slough to do at half-time as we approach...
And now Moran's gone back into that centre midfield role.
Yeah, so I'm not sure whether that just was a moment where he found himself, but...
Yeah, I think they have gone forward at the back. Guy Hollis is going right back.
Yes, so... but it's... it does look as if...
But this is exactly what happened in the first game, wasn't it? Paulton went 2-0 up.
Yeah,
at half time, and
I
Slough
would
came
say
back.
though that for their 2 goals in the first game, I think they deserved it a little bit more. I mean, Slough had a good few chances, haven't been clinical enough.
No, but that second goal just a minute ago was a very good play.
Yeah, the second goal was a great goal, but again, it was coming off the back of quite a little bit of pressure from Slough, and they great individual skill by Davies to get on the end of that ball, and
he's on a hat trick.
He is on a hat trick. As the light is faded, darkness comes. Wintry nights here at Beaconsfield as Paulton, with their tails up, push the ball forward, but it's only as far as Reshawk on the halfway line. Back to Parsons, who blindly hooks the ball over, and it's bounced, skidded on. But Anson, high as today, slashes it up in the air, and plenty of time for Jeffries to win it. Solid header from Jeffries, and then second ball, Slough first to react, and Bryce is pushing all in the back of Harris, but Harris does well, flicks the ball down to the left, and it's going to be Luke Knight's offside. And the cross wasn't that great anyway.
It does look like Slough have gone for a 4-4-2, and Luke Knight is now playing left midfield.
Yeah, I think they're trying to sort themselves out. I don't think there's very clear... there is some clear instructions, and it does actually look like they're still sticking, I think, with the 3, because it does look like Parsons is out there and Fraser's out here. I think the time to make changes will be at half-time if it happens. But it's so dark and horrible, you can barely see the dugouts on the far side. As we still wait for Phillips, who's taking his sweet time over getting this underway.
He wants to be careful, because the referee did pull him up a minute ago about his... lack of enthusiasm in his goal kick. And he slips over as he kicks that.
And flicked on again by Paulton. Paulton attempting a smash and grab as Wilson driving towards the edge of the box, crosses it in low. Defending well by Jeffries, who puts the ball out the ground behind, and it'll be an attacking corner.
I just don't understand how Slough can't play against 10 men. Because the 10 men are looking the better. Since that sending off, apart from the Ed Smith chance, Paulton looked the better team. I think
that's the problem. I think Slough have had a good number of chances in this first half and could easily be 3 or 4-2 up, but they just haven't been clinical, and it was being talked about earlier in the season about you need that clinicality at this level. As Paulton have a corner, Barnes to take it on the far side, driven in low, flicked away by Luke Knight, up into the dark night sky and out the ground. As we wait for yet another ball to come back, not a lot of fans, and the Slough fans away to the right hand side almost silent. The Burger van on the far side lighting up that right-hand corner of the ground, as I think Slough just need half-time to come to regroup at this particular time as Paulton Knowles throws it down the line. Davies down in that far corner is coming to. I was going to say Davies is making his way across, but you interrupted.
Okay, right.
Davies is going across to help out his friend, but nothing doing. And Slough have got the ball back, but they're struggling to get it clear to McClurg. McClurg to Luke Knight, and it's slashed forward. Ed Smith can't get on the end of it, and it's straight all the way through to Anson. And Anson got plenty of time. He decides the best route is to throw it forward. Good header won by York, whose arms go out the side, and then
that's
a strong
yellow
tackle
card,
goes through.
ref. Come on.
I don't think it's a yellow card, but a strong jump there.
He didn't
knew he was jumping into player and ball.
Exactly. He went for the player first rather than the ball.
But it wasn't cynical or nasty. It was just physical stuff. As Rhys York stands over this ball, he might try one of his angle kicks. Fraser's gambling on. Harris has come over to this side. Ed Smith pointing where he wants the ball to go.
As well.
It's coming up towards Harris. Harris up against Anston. Harris wins it. It's flicked onto Ed Smith. Ed Smith in the box. Back here to Harris. Is it going to be
Fraser?
first goal?
Oh, he
Fraser,
slips over.
And then Phillips.
Sean Fraser. Oh.
I don't know what was going on there, but it looked
He
like
was through. It was on his
and
wrong foot.
He slipped, and then the keeper Phillips dropped it again, and then Fraser was lying on the floor, and it looked like for a moment that Walker was holding him down. It looked a bit like a rugby pin move.
For that Fraser, it fell to his wrong foot, and if he'd have hit it with his left foot,
it would have been
only had the
2-1.
goalkeeper to beat, and it would have been in, and he didn't want to do it.
Once again, another chance for Slough as we enter the final stages of this first half. There'll be a few minutes injury time. There has been a couple of injuries, but not an ideal performance from the Rebels at the moment. They aren't that clinical in front of goal.
No, and they're just looking a little bit. They're not dominating the game. You would expect them to get the ball, keep the ball, and play it a little bit better, but they're not.
Long header back by Rhys York again. Plenty of attack by Paulton, and Barnes picks it up in midfield but overruns it, and then Parsons giving the ball away too cheaply again, and it's now back to Howard, who launches the ball forward in the direction of Wilson, on by Jeffries, flicked on by Guy Hollis, and now Fraser's on the ball. Back to Moran, getting pushed and buffeted there by Mike Bryant, and the ball's out for a Paulton throw in, and Slough just don't look to.
There's no one kind of like just calming the play down and just playing and making use of that extra man. I think the managers have got to decide. Maybe, I don't know how fit Adrian Sear is, but he could well be the person that comes on just to dictate the play a little.
And just to lead a little bit, as Walker's facing back towards his own goal, back heels it straight out of play, as just arguing with his fellow players as to what's going on. Hollis looking to get Slough back in the game. It all looks a little bit panicked from Slough at the moment.
Yep.
They need to show a bit of composure. There's plenty of time left in the game as Fraser's going to drive the ball in. He crosses it low. It's into the box. It's all the way past everyone. It's going to fall to Luke Knight. Luke Knight
Oh, he's fluffed it.
shins the shot as it's bobbling in front of him, and Slough once again have a great chance to at least test the keeper. And now Paulton on the break with Evans. Evans slams the ball down the line, but it's only through
I
to
don't know
Goggett.
what Barnes was doing there, but Brandon Barnes was expecting a better ball there, and he turned around and made some kind of gesture to his teammate. I don't know what it was or what it was about, but he wasn't happy about that.
Was it rude one?
I don't know. It looked like something off of Friends or something.
Friends?
You know when they do that thing where they bang their forearms together or something? I don't know.
Yeah. Slough attacking at the moment. The ball midway inside the Paulton half, but given away cheaply by McClurg, only to the temporary right back there. And it's up on the halfway line to Wilson, and Wilson bouncing around with the ball, but it's a Slough throw in, and Wilson deliberately, I think, threw the ball away.
No, I don't think the linesman on that far side did try to initially give it as a throw to Paulton, but.
And Cirencester leading at half-time at Dunstable is one of the results. So there have been a few goals out there. And
that is the half-time whistle.
That is the half-time whistle. We'll leave you with the thoughts of Neil Baker. Hopefully we can return to a similar Slough Town comeback to the one that was at Paulton. It's the same score as it was earlier in the season. Slough trail by 2 at half-time, but are a player to the good. We'll be back with you soon. Good evening and welcome to Rebels Radio latest interview. I'm joined this evening by Slough Town Joint Manager Neil Baker. How are you, Neil?
Yeah, a little bit agitated, John, to be honest.
Would you like to go into why you're agitated?
I've just spent about 10 minutes on the M3 doing 45 kilometres an hour.
Easy for you
on
to say.
The inside lane in my courtesy car, wondering what the hell was going on. And I've just got back and realised I had the limiter on, so I feel a little bit stupid.
Yeah, you did seem a little bit panicked when we were talking to one another.
Yes, yeah, but never mind. Anyway, crack on.
Apart from that, how's the rest of your week been?
Yeah, it's been a nice positive week.
Obviously started off with the FA Trophy draw on Monday.
Yes, tough draw.
Home to Merthyr.
Yeah, very tough draw. I mean, obviously, but Merthyr, beat us last year 2-1. they're a strong side. They're a really good side. They were in our position at the back end of the season in the playoff final, which probably they expected to win.
They got beaten by Paulton, our opponents on Saturday.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, they're I was surprised. I was expecting Merthyr probably to go up via the playoffs, and they're a big club, and however, it's a bit like Kettering, it's made them stronger. They've come back very strong this year. I think they've played 13, won 10, drawn 2, lost 1 in the league. So that's, and I think scored 44 goals. So that's some form, to be honest. So we're under no illusions. It'll be a really, really tough afternoon for us, and however, it's a bit of a bonus anyway. I don't think there was too many people expecting us to go to Margate and win. So the fact that we're in with a shout is brilliant.
Yeah. So what have you been doing this week with the boys? Training Tuesday, Thursday?
Yep.
Game time for players?
No, we tried to get Jake a game, Jake Somerville. He was going to play for Badshot Lee Tuesday, but that got called off. But other than that, everyone trained Tuesday. We did a sort of circuit session up at the Paulton Park, which was just a light session, just getting everyone together. And then we've just trained tonight over at the Polish Club. It was a bit wet, but it wasn't too bad. And again, it's about getting everyone together, and there's a good buzz around the place again.
Yeah, some confidence back in the camp. What are the injury updates?
Injury-wise, Dobbo's still struggling with his ankle. He's probably going to be another week to 10 days, maybe a little bit longer. We're not too sure on that. He might try to do a little bit of running on Saturday. Jamie McClurg trained tonight. Wasn't expecting him to. It's not a knee problem. It was a dead leg, just around the back of his knee, and more on his hamstring, to be honest. So we're pretty confident he will be fit. Ben Edwards, we're expecting to be in the squad for Saturday, and we can welcome back Adrian Sear, who's at wedding on Saturday. So he'll come back into the squad as well.
Guy took a little knock on Saturday.
Yeah, Guy's fine. He's trained twice this week. He's actually trained tonight with a bit of a sort of like a cold, and I think he's been having a few migraines today. So we've got to monitor that. Hopefully he'll look after himself between now and then, and we'll be okay. Other than that, I mean, obviously Johnny was back in the squad on Saturday, and he trained twice this week. So that's good news. And
from a goalkeeping perspective, we still have Alex. How many more games have we got Alex for?
Yeah, we've got Alex Saturday, and I believe the following Saturday. I'm not 100% sure because we took him on a 28-day loan. So I'm not quite sure whether it includes next Saturday or whether it finishes that day. So we've just got to get a bit of clarification from Reading on that. But Jake will go and play for Badshot Lee Saturday, Tuesday, and if he isn't with us next Saturday, or if Alex is with us next Saturday, then he'll play for them on Saturday and come back into the side on Tuesday against I think it's Cirencester. So yeah, I mean that's sort of where we're at. So we're in a pretty good position.
So the squads are, you're picking a full squad. Are you going to have to leave anybody out?
No, because I mean, we're not a massive squad now. Obviously with George and Adam going and nobody coming in to replace them at the current time. Obviously Rummy will be coming in, but that's not until week Tuesday. So we've got 15. Seb will go and play for Badshot Lee again as well this weekend, and so we'll have a strong 15 on Saturday.
Sad news in the week about Matty Bonnet again.
Yes, we don't know an awful lot other than I spoke to Betsy today. It's the same leg. It's I think it's the back of his leg. By the sounds of it, he should have had it pinned by the hospital when he first did it, and should have had 3 pins put into his leg. And I think the doctor that saw him today was pretty aghast that he hadn't had it pinned. So we'll have to look into that, because that's a doctor saying that it should have been pinned. So he basically said that the situation Matty was in was that he was always going to break his leg again, and that's not good.
Terrible.
So it's bad news for Matty. But on the positive side, he's a young lad still. He's got plenty of time in the game, so he's just got to try and get this right now, and I think it will obviously mean an operation, and we wish him the best.
Talking about getting it right, something you hope to do Saturday, kind of improve that home record a little bit. I mean, so far the home form hasn't quite been where you've wanted it to be, I think you'll admit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, we've had two of our biggest defeats at home. That's probably been the problem. The 7-1 and the 3-0 against Chesham. We could have been there with 4 wins and two defeats with the Histon game and the Biggleswade game. So, listen, I think we haven't been like brilliant at home since we took over. I don't know what it is. Whether it's I don't know the atmosphere of the ground. I can't put my finger on it. But we've played some excellent games at home and we've played some really poor games. So, we've just got to try and get ourselves into a mode where we turn up, we work hard, and we do everything that we do when we go away. It tends to be that we do put in some good away performances. So, we've changed things up a little bit recently. We've attacked the sort of home end goal first in 2 halves. Against Bideford and against Hereford, and we've won both those games. So, superstitious as I am, it might be that we do it that way again. But listen, those things don't really make any difference. We've just got to try and get ourselves into a mode where we are hard to beat at home, and we've got a number of games now to try and do that.
November with 5 home games and only 1 away remaining. It's a big opportunity to pick up some good home points.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we've been talking. We've had a lot of away games. We've done a lot of travelling. In sort of August, September, October. So we have got a great deal of it away done. But it's now when we have got these home games, is trying to sort of improve that record and can we sort of get ourselves up the table by getting a few wins at home. We'll see.
That will start on Saturday against Paulton Rovers, who gave us a tough game down at their place.
Yep.
2-2 earlier in the season. Went 2-0 down quite early on.
Yeah.
They are struggling on the road though. They've only picked up 3 points, no wins as yet. Hopefully that won't come to bite us on Saturday.
At some point they will win on the road, and listen, they're a good side, Paulton. They gave us loads of problems up at their place. They were 4-2 up against 4-1, 4-2 up against Paul the other week. And any side that can score 4 goals against Paul is a decent side. So I'm sure that they won't be under any illusions that that they're looking for that first win, and I'm sure they'll give it their all on Saturday. As I said, they were a good side when we played them at their place. Some good players, and we had a really, really tough afternoon. We could have come away with nothing from that day. Fortunately, we probably nicked a draw that day, and so we know we need to be right on our game to get anything from it.
And on Saturday, do you hope for a little bit of a bigger turnout? There was obviously a very successful event last Sunday to do with the Supporters Trust in Slough. Getting the name of the club and the brand of the club out there again with the Slough public. Well,
we'd hope we get a decent crowd on Saturday. I guess it will be weather dependent. It's at this time of year. If it's raining, you find that some people aren't coming out to games and whatever else. But the fact that we haven't had too many home games as well, hopefully we'll get a number in. I can think of about 12 extra people that are coming down for Under's 40th.
You just have to sneak in. He's turned 40 again.
Yeah, well, he's having a party on the Saturday night, and he's got a number of people coming down from the north, which is where his wife's originally from, and I think they're all planning on coming to the game. So we'll have a northern contingent. We have a few Geordie rebels that will be making their voices heard.
Have they got Under's masks?
No, they haven't got Under's masks. It's a bit of a scary thought, to be honest, but no, definitely not.
Well, let's look forward to Saturday. Hopefully a big bumper crowd and hopefully 3 points for Slough. Have you got any other messages for the fans?
No, yeah, just keep getting behind them. They've been brilliant. Since we've come up this year. I mean, they when we got beat by Redditch 7-1, you couldn't have blamed them for sort of really tearing into the lads, but they were fantastic, and that's what we need, because we're not. I was talking to the chairman tonight, and we were talking about games, and I said, we are going to lose games, and there'll be games where we think that we might get something from that we won't get something from, and vice versa, and that's the beauty of this league. It's very much about what happens on the day, and I believe in football at the moment. I think the levels are getting closer and closer, and teams are getting closer and closer. In terms of ability and work rate and whatever else, and I think you really have to be right on it to win games these days. And So yeah, just keep getting behind the lads, and fingers crossed we can try and get 3 points Saturday, but it'll be a tough one.
Well, thank you very much for your time, and fingers crossed you make it home in one piece.
Yeah, well, a bit of luck. Yeah, thank you.
I'll speak to you soon.
Cheers.
Good evening and welcome to...
Hello and welcome back to live commentary from Beaconsfield. You join us at the Holloways Stadium. It's half time. Score Slough 0, Paulton Rovers 2. Similar score to earlier in the season at the game at Paulton, which I think was a little bit more one-sided in the first half. This first half, I think Slough have probably, to be fair, been on top. They've had a number of chances. Paulton hit them with 2 sucker punches. First, a goal from a free kick that came out of nothing, really, from John Davies. The ball was slashed in towards the far post and kicked off this wet, greasy surface and shot up, hit the post, and went in off the post and the far post. And then Pandemonia's... a rather heavy tackle from Parsons got temperature slightly raised, but no booking or anything happened. And then within perhaps 90 seconds of it, the right back for Paulton Rovers, Stuart Tovey, did, in the referee's eye, a severe tackle and was sent from the field of play. To all intents and purposes, especially to Ade, it looks like it was a yellow card. So whether he said something as well, he got booked and then got sent from the field of play, or whether it was straight red, we're unsure. Hopefully,
or unless we missed a booking somehow in the first half.
No, I think it must have been related to that first incident. As the Paulton board just make their way back out. We're waiting for both teams to come out. It's a foul afternoon here in Buckinghamshire. It's wet, windy. The rain squalls have just managed to settle down for a short time, but we're waiting for the teams. The rain is settling a little bit on the pitch. We'll take you through the other half times in the division. It's Bideford 0, Banbury 1, Cambridge City 2, Hungerford 0, Chippenham 0, Histon 0, Corby Town 0, Chesham United 1, so maybe a bit of a shock on the cards there. Dorchester 0, Biggleswade 1, Dunstable 0, Cirencester 1, Frome 0, Redditch 1, Hereford 3, Arsley Town 0, Hitchin 0, Weymouth 1, Poole Town versus Bournemouth was postponed, St Neots 0, Truro 1, and in other games relating to FA Trophy, Wantage Town 0, Merthyr Town 1, who Slough's visitors next week here in the FA Trophy second qualifying round, and Canvey Island 1, Leiston 1, and Leiston is where our today's opponents, Paulton Rovers, will travel all the way up to Suffolk next week. It's a big old journey for them, all the way across
a journey, isn't it?
in the search for maybe £3,000 FA Trophy winning money. The teams are just coming out onto the pitch. We'll take you through the Slough team to start off with. Adrian?
Go for it. Right. In goal is Alexander Gogic, 2 Sean Fraser, 3 Ryan Parsons, 4 Billy Jeffries, 5 Rhys York, 6 is Guy Hollis, 7 Luke Knight, 8 is James McClurg, who's captain, 9 is Scott Harris, 10 Ed Smith, 11 Tom Moran, who's on a yellow card. Subs for Slough are 12 Adrian Sear, 14 Jake Parsons, 15 Johnny Dyer, and 16 Ben Edwards. As of the moment, there are no changes for the Slough side. And for Paulton Rovers, we've got Kyle Phillips in goal. 3 is Jordan Walker, who's on a yellow card. 4 is Shane Anson. 5 and captain Scott Bryce. 6 Brandon Barnes. 7 Ollie Knowles, who's picking up as right back after the sending off of Tovey. We've got 8 Mike Bryant. 9 Scott Wilson. 10 is John Davies, who's got both the goals for Paulton. 11 is Dean Evans, and subs for Paulton are 12 Darren Jeffries, 14 Elliot Gibson, and 15 Josh Jeffries.
As the players left the pitch in the first half, the assistant for Paulton certainly was making his voice heard into the referee, Mr. Sean Barry's ear. His assistants, Carl Tribe and Thomas Harkins, by his side. The referee just down in the far left-hand end, just inspection of perhaps the pitch and the goal, where Phillips is in the goal down to our left-hand side. Slough shooting away from the kind of clubhouse end here. They're shooting down the hill from right to left.
He doesn't seem to be happy.
And the referee doesn't seem terribly happy. He's going over towards the bench, and he seems to be going over towards the managers. So it may be that this game's about to be abandoned, or it may be that we need some treatment. John Underwood and Neil Baker just walking towards the referee, Sean Barry.
He's obviously not
Is it to do with the goal? I think it's something to do with the goal down that end. He's just over there speaking.
The goalkeeper's looking and got his arms out as if to say there's something wrong with the goal. Well,
I'm not sure he is. I think he's just saying it's a little bit wet, but I can't imagine that in a 2-0 winning position Phillips do. But anyway, whatever's been said and done, Mr. Barry has come back in. He's rolled the ball out, and it looks like we are going to get second half underway. As that was all a bit farcical, really, but Glad to know that we are back underway almost. It looks as if Slough are keeping with their formation. It does seem that they are trying to push this for now, but I think it's going to be fairly fluid up against 10 men. Paulton are playing almost a 4-4-1 formation, and since the right-back Tovey got sent off, it's been number 7 Ollie Knowles who's fallen into the right-back position. Captain Bryce has been leading well from the back as we're underway. Immediately back to Ryan Parsons down in front of us in the left-back position. Slough shooting from right to left. Looking to play a long ball forward, and Slough have been guilty of that too much. It's through to Luke Knight though. Finds Luke Knight. Luke Knight going across the field, pulls the trigger across field, and it's gambled on by Hollis, but it's met
high.
Everybody, and the rain just starts to pick up again. And there's a few brave souls who've decided to try and get around to the T-bar during half-time, are bringing what looks to be like soup and hot dogs and burgers, all sorts coming around. Fair effort for them.
Not for us though.
No, sadly not for us. We haven't had anything to drink as play's underway in midfield and it's bouncing around in there, but back and out of play in Slough's half, just in front of the Slough dugout on the far side at Holloways. Neil Baker and John Underwood stood both in their black coats just having a chat about...
A few Slough fans braving the conditions behind the goal.
As Slough press on and try and attack, but Paulton equal to it and clear long up to Reshawk, who heads the ball out left to Parsons. Now let's try and use the ball a little bit better here.
He's got no
short
option,
ball
though.
into... the middle of midfield with Tom Moran. Now back to Reshawk. Reshawk with not a lot of options forward. He's still got the ball at his feet. He's played through to Scott Harris's feet. He's done well there to keep the ball back. Scott Harris shielding the ball well. Back to McClurg. Back to Ed Smith. Ed Smith now out left to Luke Knight. Luke Knight will look to deliver. He's up against right back Knowles. Back inside to Moran. 40 yards from goal. Plays into the feet of McClurg. McClurg steps over it. It's bouncing around to the edge of the area. It's hooked clear in the end by Anston and only as far as Moran. And Moran passes the ball through. Tries to play a direct ball to Harris. And now Paulton looking dangerous on the break as
Wilson with the ball.
Wilson attacking over the halfway line, passes it out left, gets it back off Walker, and now they're trying to play the 1-2 again.
Well
Thankfully
done,
blocked by Bradley Jeffries, inside to Reshawk, all the way back to the big figure away to our right hand side in blue, Gogic, who...
he won't want to make his last day a 2-0 defeat, will he?
No, his last game for Slough before he heads back to Reading Academy. Good header on there by Harris to Ed Smith, and now Ed Smith 30 yards from goal, picks up, pulls the trigger, but straight down the throat of Phillips, and Slough do need to be more clinical. They had plenty of chances in the first half, Ade.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the attendance there today is 275, but yeah, as John was saying, I think if you take your chances at this level, and I think that's what Paulton did in the first half, didn't really have a lot of opportunities, but they're 2-0 up by taking the chances.
And Anston having a little bit of a battle there, and Fraser's just clipped him, saying, given the kick away, but Slough be good to get that ball back quickly. Ed chasing after it and bringing it back. Slough do need to score, get some momentum back in this game, and you feel then one goal, and as many people will often say in this 2-0 situation, the third goal's critical. If Slough get it, they've got the momentum and will go on and hopefully win this game.
Yeah, but I mean, you can just see that Paulton Rovers, they're not going to break from this 4-4-1 formation. And they've looked quite good defensively. We haven't really tested them with some decent chances, but we shall see how the second half goes.
Strong header by Reshawk, and it has Scott Harris scampering after it, and he's just blocked it from Davies, and then
He's
through on goal. It's going to be almost a one-on-one, but he's... trashed it round, hits it off Anston, and it's blocked. Anston did well to recover because he had the beating of Bryce there, and Scott Harris did well but couldn't quite pull the trigger in time before Anston made it back. But the ball driven into the area, it's out to Luke Knight on the near side, and Luke Knight pulls the trigger, it's blasted well wide, and the people in front of us seem to be standing up at regular occurrences. Yes. And for even Paul Raid, when he stands up, he might not be able to see over them.
No, I think it's one-man Mexican wave, isn't it?
It is a one-man Mexican wave. If you do want to contact us, and if this is your first time tuning in, welcome along. It's very much non-league commentary for non-league football.
It won't get any better.
The minute's silence was the highlight in terms of the commentary this afternoon. Ever since then, it's gone downhill. Please do join us, though, and let us know where you're watching it from, what the conditions like. It's at MyFC Rebels Radio or on the MyFC forum. Please do contact us as Slough break again, pushing the ball out left to Parsons, who advances over the halfway line, ball on the ground, plays it along down to Luke Knight, who's out wide left, inside to McClurg back to Moran, back to Parsons, looking for a little ball to the feet of Ed Smith. Ed Smith flicks it back and it goes to Moran rather luckily. He didn't intend to go there. Now Moran's got a little bit of space. He's looking for a simple pass, plays it out to Jeffries, who's advancing from the back. He's going to play in Fraser down the right hand side, so Fraser's going to look to get the ball in the box, being closed down by Walker, crossed in and headed back by Jeffries well to Parsons. Slough looking almost like a training exercise here. It's all Slough at the moment. Camped inside. Luke Knight, first time ball, and it's got a lot of air on it, and up goes Scott Harris battling away there in the middle of midfield up against Evans, but Paulton win the ball back, and it's going to be Barnes on the far side to hook the ball down the line, give Wilson something to chase, and it has Jeffries turning, passing it all the way back to Gogic. Parsons in acres of space will be the simple ball, and it stopped in a puddle on the edge of the 18-yard box. That was the first time we've seen the spray come up. It was a little bit dangerous. The referee might just keep it as Luke Knight loses his footing, but gets up well and sprints down the line in front of us. I think he's going to have a run inside at Tovey. He plays the ball off to the feet, gets it back. He's doing well, Luke Knight, but he's overrun it slightly, and now it's cleared long by Anston in the direction of Wilson, but well taken by Reece.
Hold of it, Reece. Don't play the long ball.
Rather than smashing the ball back and heading it back every time, Slough are trying to control the ball. They need to be a little bit more patient. Plenty of time left in this game. We've got 40 minutes left, and there's plenty of players standing up in front of us, so our view's just temporary boxers. Slough advance. Scott Harris, midway inside the Paulton half, towards the edge of the box, tries to pull the trigger, and he's cleared it well. Do you want to knock on the window and just have a word with him? Or go outside? Just go outside. Just go outside in a second.
I'll bang on the window in a minute.
Yeah, we'll just say, as Paulton are advancing over the halfway line, Barnes looking to try and play it through to...
Oh, well, and Billy.
And Billy Jeffries picks it through, long outstretched leg, wids the ball well, and the ball's now over the halfway line. The rain continues to come down. There's a few puddles appearing on the pitch. You can see this spraying up as the boys... as the balls are around, and it's now Parsons midway inside the Paulton half, left back looking to drive a ball in, but is that too close to Phillips? It may well be. Phillips comes out with a not convincing punch, but Paulton managed to scramble the ball away, but it's only up to Hollis on the halfway line. Hollis being pursued by Wilson, but plays a nice 1-2 with Moran. Keeps the ball, plays it all the way back to Jeffries on the halfway line. Slough dominating possession here. Fizzed across to Parsons. Parsons advancing, looking to play it into the feet of Ed Smith. Ed Smith holds it up, edge of the box, tries to turn, tackled by Evans strongly, and then leaves his foot in a little bit, but Paulton only clear it up again to halfway line, and Gogic comes a long way out of his goal, but Jeffries is returning well. It's all one-way traffic at the moment, Ade.
Yeah, it is indeed, and the only trouble is Paulton, every man behind the ball at the moment, and they're just defending very well.
Yeah, and Slough struggling to find a bit of space as Jeffries is screaming with the ball on the far side. Sorry, Moran. I couldn't tell between the two of them, but it was Moran. Played the ball through, and it's held up in the area.
Fraser.
And it's slid in by Fraser.
It's
towards the
across.
far post, but Bryce is there to slide it away. And Paulton once again clear their lines, but it is very much, I'm getting a stiff neck, it's one-way traffic here, as now it's Jeffries' turn to come forward out of the defence, chip the ball towards the far post. It's going to beat Knowles, but Knowles can only head it to Luke Knight midway inside the box, pulls the trigger right-footed, and it's just over the bar, but a good chance there for Luke Knight. He seems to be coming into the game more and more in the last 5 to 10 minutes. I can see one of the Slough substitutes warming up on the far side, down in the left-hand corner.
I'm just wondering if...
Johnny Dyer it is.
If they'll take off maybe Moran in the holding midfield role, because you've got, Wilson up front just being marked by those three, and, just maybe someone will just give you something a little bit different. Johnny Dyer likes to come deep and hold the ball up a little bit, so we'll see what's going on, but no signs at the moment.
No, Johnny Dyer just warming up and Slough winning it, but Wilson on the break up against York, and York no nonsense, guiding him off to the far side, given away poorly by Wilson to Hollis, and Hollis drives the ball forward.
That's the wrong ball though, isn't it?
They're playing too direct there, and we don't need to do that. We don't need to press. We're better with the ball on the deck at the moment because Slough have got the bodies, and McClure picks it up at the halfway line, plays it out right to Ed Smith. Ed Smith off his first touch in the direction of Harris, but once again Bryce, who's having a hell of a game back there, just manages to clear it, and Paulton playing down the line. That Wilson's getting through some work again as Jeffries once again repels it out to Hollis. Parsons in acres of space out left will have a little bit of an opportunity to take a touch and drive forward as Davies comes across to try and cover it down further to the left-hand corner to Luke Knight. Luke Knight back to Parsons. Parsons in acres of space, just simply inside to Moran, opens up his body, plays along the goal for Reece. He's 40 yards from goal. Is he going to pull the trigger? He does. It's a low one, and it scoots just to the left-hand side of the post. Nano would have been proud.
Yeah, that was a good effort by Reece York, and that's the kind of thing that Slough need. They've got that extra man, and when people like Billy Jeffries and Reece York get that ball and go forwards, if they can have a chance, go and have a chance. We don't score many long-range goals, do we?
No, Corby have equalised at home to Chesham, so the Steelmen are back in it.
Rain starts coming down again hard.
Lots of umbrellas out, and there's puddles of water starting to appear. You can see it glistening on the pitch as great header from Jeffries into the direction of Harris, but it's over Knight as the ball repels from Bryce, and Knight back to Parsons. Can't see a lot through the umbrellas that are just walking past at the moment, but it's a short interplay, and Parsons has the ball with McClurg, plays it into the feet of Harris, holds it up well, cuts inside, uses his strength, but the ball's won and coming away with it at Paulton, but that's a heavy, and it's again Wilson on the right hand side. Two runners for Paulton going into the box, and it's Wilson up against York, holds the ball up in towards the edge of the box, out to Davies, who's on a hat trick. He pulls it onto his left foot, slides it left of Gogic's poster. Not a bad effort.
Not just a little bit too far. Great idea, but there was no curl on it. I think maybe the conditions with the ball it makes him lose the control on the spin there.
Stop laughing at people. Poor fans out there in the wet. That is poor by Moran. He's given the ball away in the halfway line as it was smothered there by Bryant. And now Barnes tries to play the ball through. Jeffries, his twin, makes up for it and wins the ball back well. And now Fraser's on his way. Midway inside the Slough half, down the right hand side. Slough need to place shorter balls as he just drives it into an area and it's Paul. Walker has the opportunity to bring it forward and still running with the ball at his feet. He's going very direct, very, very direct by himself. And he's played it to nobody in particular. And Hollis came through and body checked him.
Oh, was it Reshaw?
Okay, Reshaw comes through from the back and body checks
might be going and collecting another one of these famous yellow cards that he likes.
As they're just waiting to get the ball back quickly.
Reshaw
was quite cynical there. He didn't want
yellow card.
Thou shall not pass. So that is in the 56th minute. And Reshaw is the second Slough player to go into the book after Tom Moran.
I think he's waiting.
I'm not sure what he's waiting for. Perhaps he's just having a little word with Walker because he could send Walker off at this point if he's going to book both of them. If Walker's still chirping in the ear of Sean Berry out there, Sean Berry's not very welcome to that. So I haven't seen him display it, but here he goes. Reshaw just standing there all innocently and walking away.
Another yellow card for Reese's collection. Nana Lynn will be happy about that.
I think Nana Lynn should fine him for every one of these. I think that's the next thing to do.
What she should do is say to him, every time you get booked, you've got to send me some yellow flowers up to Swindon. Or some flowers, not yellow flowers. For every yellow card he gets. That will stop him.
Yeah, okay. Whatever you think. 2-0 to Weymouth now at Hitchin, which isn't a surprise at all. I think it's Shepherd, who scored earlier in the season against Slough when we visited Weymouth. Decent player. He's scored again for them. But at the moment, Paulton have a free kick, which Barnes is going to take midway inside the Slough half, chipping it towards the far post. York underneath it, but well won by Bryce, but headed down hopelessly wide. Gogic hurdles it, literally just walks over it almost. And we're having a substitution, and off comes Tom Moran, who's been booked, and Parsons. It's a double substitution.
And it's going to be Adrian Sear and Jake Parsons coming on.
So Parsons for Parsons, and Sears on as well for Moran. So as for whether they are straight swaps, I think we're going to swap it around. Fraser's come into the left wing back position, it looks like, or maybe just a left back position. And Adrian Sears going into the middle of midfield. They're just having a little word, but they're substitutes in the 57th minute. And off is...
Sean Fraser's dropped and playing left back. Guy Hollis looks to be playing either right back or in the middle.
As Reshaw, the recently booked...
Yeah, Guy Hollis is going right back.
Guy Hollis just making his way out right. He's chipped the ball into the direction of Jake Parsons on the far side. Good control on his chest. Back to Guy Hollis. Guy Hollis plays the ball along the floor, but Ed Smith wasn't awake to that, and Barnes will chip the ball through.
Lovely ball through for Wilson.
But it's all the way out, and Gogic just about gets it in the gentleman area to control it and plays the ball away out of danger. But this game, I think, has more goals in it. As ball back with Sear, first touch for him. Back short pass to York, and York's now going for the long ball as well. And Ed Smith after it. It's going to be Anston up against Smith, and Smith's in there, and he's won the ball down well into the left-hand corner. And you can just explain to them, Adrian's just explained to them that you can't stand up because we can't see. So that Slough have an attacking throw on, and it's thrown in. It's cleared well by Paulton, but only out as far as the substitute Sear. How was he? Was he nice about that? As Jake Parsons comes and wins the ball back to Jeffries. Jeffries, strong ball through, and it's ricocheted around, but it's still deep in the Paulton half. Paulton will clear the ball long, and it's that man Davies, the goal scorer, on the far left-hand side with a player overlapping him. Paulton coming, looking dangerous on the break-hand side, and Wilson wants it in the middle. Wilson has it at the feet, and a very sliding tackle by Reshaw, and he wins it. But Davies curls one straight down the throat of Gogic this time, and now new left-back Fraser is taking it away from us, in front of us, to Luke Knight. Plenty of possession with the ball. Short ball back today to Fraser. Slough keeping the ball well at the back, but they're not pressing forward with the same conviction. They seem to be, once they get over that halfway line, they seem to be going a bit too direct for me.
Yeah, eight back for Paulton behind the ball, just Wilson up front.
And you're crossed into the area, missed by everybody. It's all the way through. It's to the edge of the box, and it's McClurg. Pulls a trigger, low shot, smothered and caught at the second occasion by Phillips. But that was a great shot by McClurg, who was nicely set up there by Jesus.
Yeah, it was better play, but some poor defending by Paulton there. Both players missing the ball as it came through.
Yes, so Reece York underneath this ball, just ducks under it, and across comes Jeffries, who seems to be settling down well. The grass is starting to cut up a bit here as Fraser cuts inside, finds Ed Smith's feet, plenty of space, but gives the ball away cheaply to Bryce. And now Paulton will look to play the ball out. They don't. When they get the ball, it's valuable to them. And now Davies just keeps off Sear, and he's advancing towards the edge of the box. Is he going to pull the trigger? He slides it across, and it's great little defending by Jeffries off his left shin to take it off the toes of Wilson. Otherwise, that could have been 3-0.
Yeah, that was a great bit of defending there. I mean, he's very lucky that he's got the touch and it hasn't gone on target. But Wilson was at the back post totally. If that ball even touched that ball, Wilson would have had a great opportunity to score there. And they're taking their time over this corner. Not one of them wants to go and take it.
As the rain sweeps down, if you look across at the floodlights, it's sweeping in from left to right in the faces of Slough. Davis slowly makes his way across to the far right-hand side to take this corner for Paulton, who lead by 2 goals in the first half, both from Davies. And we're just waiting for this in-swinging corner from Davies. There's a few Paulton players in there. It's well won, though, by Jeffries and headed away as far as Sear. Sear on his left foot plays the ball along the line to Harris, but it skids past Harris and all the way through to Anson. Anson chips the ball across, but it's all the way through to Guy Hollis on the far right-hand side. The flag was ignored from the assistant as Slough want to get on with this, but again, they're looking to play it directly through to Gogic, and this is dangerous because there's a few puddles around there. Just make sure you strike enough on it as it comes out to Reece York, midway inside the Slough half, ball on the grass. Slough looking to press forward a bit more.
He's got no options, has he?
He's sliced it outright, but it's found Hollis, who has a good touch, comes inside well, plays it outright to Jake Parsons on that far touchline, advancing down, crosses it and whips a ball in, and it's across everyone. It's just past everyone all together, and Ed Smith's appealing for a corner, but it's a goal kick. Whereas if Ed Smith had chucked himself out of the ball, it could have gone in
and
at the far post.
That's just kind of like the luck. I mean, the first goal for Paulton was very much the same kind of thing, with a ball that came all the way through. No one touched it. It just happened to be on target and end up in the back of the net. But Slough had a couple of players in there. Scott Harris ducked to try and get to it, and Ed Smith just seemed to leave it. But it's better played the second half, and they're doing better against the 10 men. But the score is still Slough 0, Paulton 2.
They're doing better when they're keeping the ball on the deck and playing a bit of football, aren't they? Not pressing, not rushing. If you do want to contact us at MyFC Rebels Radio, let us know what you think of the performance so far. The balls, the conditions are absolutely foul as another swathe of rain comes in, and Slough on the attack, hooked into the area. It's bounced across towards Knight. Knight heads it in the direction of Ed Smith. Ed Smith heads it straight into the middle of the goal and straight into the arms of Phillips. Ed Smith could have had another hat-trick today.
If he puts that anywhere else, he's mostly scored a goal, but he's put it straight at the keeper's arms, and that's a golden opportunity wasted. Great little cushion header by Luke Knight. And Ed's got to do better than that. Yeah,
we're almost in the 64th minute here at Holloways. Slough still trail 2 goals, 2-0, but they've had plenty of chances. You couldn't want for more chances. The ball's out left, and it's Jake Parsons up against the left back of
You just
Walker.
wonder if Jake Parsons is on because Walker's on a yellow card. Substitution for Paulton, it's going to be Brandon Barnes coming off and Elliot Gibson coming on.
Gibbons, that's Gibbons.
No, I've got an S on mine.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you got Gibson?
Gibson.
Oh, Gibson, okay.
Gibbons?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, well, anyway.
We'll call him Elliot just to make sure that we don't
So he comes on in the 63rd minute, I would say, for Barnes, who I think was having a great old game. I know Barnes had a knock last week, so be interesting to see where Gibbons comes on. But, yeah,
and
Barnes...
as the rain gets absolutely torrential is the only way to describe it at the moment.
Yeah, we're nearing that point that if a game gets abandoned, the result will stand, aren't we? I think that's the 75th minute, is it, in common?
I believe it is, but...
and at the moment, we...
As some of the Slough fans who braved that second half down the other end are going, that's too much for them.
As the ball's ricocheting around, well in there by Jeffries, but it's back with York on the halfway line. He plays the ball down the line towards Knight, and Knight was just appealing that he was getting held back, but nothing doing there. And the tall figure of Knowles will take that one simply and throw that up the line, getting play back underway. He's in no hurry at all, as you can hear the rain splashing through. It really is torrential here as Knowles. Just a little flick there off the charging down from Knight, and that's a poor decision. That's a really poor decision by the linesman, as Knight clearly touched that ball. But Slough get awarded the throw. Harris tries to play it outright, but only finds the player. Conditions are now becoming a factor where this game may get abandoned.
Yep.
as it is torrential, and
The ball is in pockets is actually falling into the puddles. You can see it not
and
running
you can see it
properly.
splashing up, but it is torrential. It is absolutely torrential, ladies and gentlemen. But Slough still have the ball at their feet, playing it around just inside the half of Paulton. And I don't want to leave here if it is abandoned. I'm going to stay here until it stops raining. As Paulton playing themselves in trouble. Ball's flicked in the box. Ed Smith after it. It's rolling around on the floor. It's a scramble. It's in the front of the middle of the goal, and it's an equaliser. It's a goal. Scott Harris scores a goal.
There's a bit of a bundle in the goal there.
And in the 75th minute.
75th. Hey, what? Where'd you get that from?
65th.
Blimey, you had me worried there.
65th minute, Harris grabs a goal.
Cool, you took 10 minutes off my life there. And good play by Slough down that side, and they've done well to keep that in.
Harris continues with his great scoring form. He scored, I think, something like 4 in his last 3 games or something like that. So that critical third goal, the Rangers subsides. Thankfully, perhaps the higher spirits are watching on for whatever religion you believe in. If you're like Luke Knight, it might be Jesus.
This is really following the first game between these two teams early in the season, wasn't it?
As Yorkie sticks a ball straight back up on there, and now it's got Howard, Walker defending. It's like me and Jeffries, isn't
Who's
it?
Howard?
I don't know who Howard is. Up to the feet of Ed Smith. Ed Smith to Scott Harris, who's recently scored back in the direction of Ed Smith, but it's just over here.
Far.
It's going to go out for a goal kick on the far side.
No, you've won it back, no?
It is a goal kick on the far side.
Good try, Ed.
But well won there. Don't want to overcomplicate it, but why not? In these conditions, you need to just have a shot and put it on target. Test the keeper because it's zipping off and it is really awkward.
It's more likely that the keeper is going to spill the ball.
And it's ricocheting around. But Scott Harris perhaps just took the wrong option there. Right? If I was, if you had a bit of time there, just 20 yards from goal, just clip it in at the keeper and get Ed Smith chasing them in and following it up. But the Rebels are now back in it, trailing by 1 goal, thanks to Scott Harris's goal. Literally a couple of minutes ago, ball's through with Jeffries in the Slough defending line.
Don't do that.
And he's played it softly, and it's held up, and he's clipped it off the and it's over in the corner. And it's won back, I think, by
Guy Hollis.
But I think the lesson for there, everybody, is
well done, Jake Parsons. Come on, mate.
Jake Parsons is doing well. He's won the ball.
Look wide.
So now they've played another suicide ball, and Reshaw's going to be sent off.
How is he not even given a foul for that? That is disgraceful refereeing.
Reshaw just clattered into Davis as the ball came through.
And he would have been through on goal, wouldn't he?
He would have been through clear on goal. He took the player, not anything of the ball. And how the referee has
There's 2 balls on the pitch at the moment.
How the referee has not seen that. If I was the Paulton bench, I would be fuming.
That is disgraceful refereeing. How he hasn't seen that is unbelievable.
So Slough have dodged a bullet there as they are attacking down the far right-hand side. And it's a second goal in the matter of minutes for Slough. And I can't quite see who the goal scorer was. I think it might have been Harris again.
Is it? I can't see.
Celebrations are with Jake Parsons and almost McClurg.
I don't even know. I couldn't see who scored it.
And the keeper's getting furious. He's come a long way out of his goal and he's getting in trouble now.
No, Walker's going. No, it's 9, Wilson.
It's Wilson going in the book now.
Again, they've just announced the equalising goal, but no one seems to know who scored it.
No, it was a real...
But, I mean, that is the trouble with the referee there, John, is...
He's booked someone. I've no idea. There was about 6 or 7 players.
I think he's booked Wilson, but he should have given a foul to Paulton Rovers for the tackle by Reshaw, which was way late. Poor decision, and the guy was through and goal. And literally, straight away, Slough gone totally down the other end, scored against the run of play. So, in theory, it should still be 2-1 because he should have been off. Would have been 10 men each, and instead it's 2-2. And
Davis is still getting in the ear of the referee. Yeah, Davis still on a hat trick.
We still don't know who scored.
I have a feeling it looked like it might be McClurg. I'm not quite convinced either way.
I thought it was Luke Knight, but hey,
it's
2-2.
Let's have a look on Twitter. There might be a better
option. No, not there.
There seemed to be confusion.
There is a spot of water just on the edge of the Gogic's area, and he's just rolled it straight through. There's a little patch of water there, and Slough twice have played a ball through it, and it's got caught.
And Jake Parsons on the ball in front of the Paulton dugout on the far side.
Nice part.
And pass the ball out and ball in midfield where McClurg is in a bit of a puddle of water. Sears in a puddle of water there.
Is it 75 minutes yet? We don't want to cancel it now.
It's not 75 minutes yet. Game off somewhere else. I can't see where that is, but there was another game abandoned there.
Oh, somewhere in Miles. It's going.
As it's 2.
It's through.
He's offside.
He's offside.
Look, Ed Smith has the ball finally in the back of the net today. He hasn't had his best game. has he? I don't think for the Rebels.
No, well,
I know he likes listening
I wouldn't
back
say
to this.
it's not that he's had his best. I do think that he's had a lot of chances, and he will go away if he doesn't score today. He will go away very disappointed that it's not a goal, that he hasn't.
Apparently,
scored.
it was Smith who scored the goal. So,
Really?
the Twitter are giving it to Smith. So, I'm quite happy to give it to Smith.
I
So,
will give it to Ed.
so he
then.
has found the goal. Apologies to Ed Smith. We will forever.
That's all right. He don't listen, does he?
He's
What- I don't
what's he
even know.
like?
I don't even have the goal time.
68 minutes.
68. Yeah.
68 as the ball's going through now, and Paulton are having to come out a little bit more as Reece York, lucky to be on the pitch still, Nana, goes down to the far left-hand corner, plays the ball off Wilson, and now Gogic has to be smart to come off his line, but please don't this time roll it out, Gogic.
No, he's still going to roll it out.
But he bowls it overarm to find Fraser on the far side. Oh, no, Fraser,
That's
sorry.
Hollis.
Hollis on the far
Fraser's
side.
here in front of us.
I know.
You can tell by the horrible orange boots.
They've all got horrible orange
I know.
boots.
Oh, and Guy Hollis just runs straight into the substitute there, Gibson.
And apparently Daniel Darlington's giving it to Scott Harris, the equaliser, which I called first of all, didn't I? I went through about 3 or 4 different players, but my first one was Harris, my second one was McClurg, and my third one was then Smith. So
one of them's right.
Any one of those 3. Sorry if you want a little bit more of that. It's Gibbons, my bro. Okay, thank you very much, Lewis, for listening. It is Gibbons, not Gibson. That's what I had on my list.
Yeah, I know, but mine says Gibson.
But that's because
I'll cross the S out.
That's because there's some
just
dyslexic
for
people.
Lewis. I'm going to cross the S out.
Thanks very much for making us aware of that, Lewis. I know you'll be cheering on your brother. As Slough continue to press here, they've come back from 2-2 down, just like the first game. Adrian Sear into the box. He plays a reverse pass, and it's overhit to Luke Knight. Out comes the onrushing Phillips, defending well. And Paulton had been defending well up until that point. And as I say, it could have easily gone almost 3-1 the other way when Wilson was through and slashed down by Reece York, who was lucky to stay on the pitch.
It was Davis that was through.
Oh, Davis, sorry.
Yeah, he would have been on a hat-trick.
And Ed Smith just getting lent on there about Anderson, but he's held the ball up well. Pass it back to Jake Parsons on the right-hand side. He's been shut down by Gibbons. Gibbons on the far side. Stepped over by Harris,
dummy.
back to Harris, and Harris chips the ball across. Ed Smith volleys over from 7 yards out. Great interplay between the two, but he should have done better with that finish.
It wasn't a 1-2, it was a 2-2, and the ball came back to Ed Smith on the volley, and he's just volleyed it over the top. But Slough have been absolutely dominant this second half. I think the referee's just having a stern word with the goalkeeper for time wasting.
Well, I think he needs to stop having a stern word and kind of pull his finger out a little bit. I mean, as there's a few players just encouraging. McClurg, for a change, is getting in the referee's ear about it.
Never.
I know. It's surprising that he hasn't talked himself into the book today as yet. And
it's a poor
straight
kick.
to McClurg, and it's chipped up in the air, and Harris is after it. Keeper's stuck on his line at the moment, but Harris turns, edge of the 18-yard box, facing across goal. He's drilled it across to Jake Parsons. Jake Parsons outright to Hollis. Hollis chips the ball across, and it's in towards the far side, and it skips off, beats everybody, and it's out for a goal kick. But Slough knocking at the door.
Yeah, guy's got to do some shooting practice. There was the opportunity.
I think there was a cross.
Yeah, he should have had a shot though. Like you said, the conditions. He should have had a shot on target. Give the keeper something to work for, and it's very difficult to keep hold of this ball at the moment.
So 275, mostly under cover at the moment.
It's light rain now. It's not. It's still quite heavy, but it's lighter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's settled down, and but the pitch is looking very cut up. This is probably the first time this season that Holloways is really cutting up like this. Under the lights now, as the gloom starts to settle in. Paulton still wasting a little bit of time here, as Slough pushing for their first lead of the game, and to be fair, their first lead ever against Paulton in these seasons. Games. So Ed Smith comes a long way to win that header, but Anston then heads the ball forward and on. Missed
header
by
by
Sear, and now Paulton have the chance to attack against Reece York, who hooks the ball forward. Well won by Bryce though, into the middle of midfield. Paulton have come out and attacking a bit more now. As
Walker.
Left-footed Walker comes all the way through. He's battling hard, but McClurg wins it well, and then he chips him, and he's going to go. He's going to get sent off.
He's got a second yellow card for dissent.
No, he just chipped him. He just tripped over McClurg, and he was going to.
No, he said something to him. He's off.
And Walker
has to be off.
Walker's going to be off. Paulton are going to be down to 9.
And the referee has been so stupid. He's actually waited. He's made him come back to show him the red card, and he didn't show him a second yellow. He's just shown him a straight red.
We are at that moment of the game that you don't like that.
That's
75th minute.
I don't think the referee knows what he's doing. So he just clearly showed him a straight red card there.
Yeah.
Instead of a second yellow.
So we have played 75 minutes here at Holloways.
You've got to say, as if you're one of his teammates, you have got to be really disappointed with Jordan Walker there. He knows he's on a yellow card. If he'd have kept his gob shut, he most probably would have won a free kick in the first place, but he kept going.
Yeah, he did trip McClurg, and I think that's what it was given for.
He may have got a free kick first, but his reaction, whatever he said, he's just let his team down.
Every Slough player, except for Goggett and Sear, is in the Paulton half and played out to the right-hand side to Guy Hollis. All the Slough players staying in the box. Hollis looks to deliver a ball in, chips it, gets a deflection, it's bouncing around the edge of the box. It's fallen to Luke Knight. Great sliding tackle, but it's going to fall out to the right-hand side.
It's going to be a corner.
And it's Jake Parsons going after it, and Slough will be knocking on this door for this final 15 minutes.
Yeah, Luke Knight's gone to take the corner.
Paulton down to 9. Slough coming back from 2-0 down to 2-2, and they're going to do a short corner. It's out to Parsons. Parsons on the far side. Luke Knight.
Jake's got past him.
He's going to try and cross it, and he crosses it in. It's tipped
over,
and then flicks out the way by Evans at the far post.
Heads it
Paulton
just out.
hanging on here with 9 men.
And Slough urgently calling for another ball.
And I'm sure
a handful of fans behind the goal making a little bit of noise.
Yeah, so we're waiting the in-swinging corner. The referee just going across to this corner. I'm not sure whether he's seen something with the way that the ball rolled across there. Oh, I think he's just checking. He's perhaps seen Luke Knight. He's seen Luke Knight.
He obviously listened to us last week at Margate where he didn't put it in the quadrant.
As the ball's driven in towards the far post, York underneath it. York heads it back and control. It's in the 6-yard box of the almighty scramble. It's cleared away. Only as far as Jake Parsons. Out left to Luke Knight. Luke Knight drives it towards the far post. It's headed straight into the arms of Phillips again. Phillips is having a hell of a game.
Well, apart from the 2 goals he let in, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he's having a hell of a game. He's
very busy. His white socks are now totally covered in dirt.
Yeah, and poor defending there by Jeffries, and has Fraser backpedaling, hooks the ball up into the air. Plenty of players underneath it, but it's headed out there by Guy Hollis, and Paulton absolutely in no rush, down to 9 players. They're trying to make it compact. I would say what formation they're playing, but it's a little bit difficult to tell.
Well, Wilson's still up front, we know that.
There should have been probably only... Oh, as a strong tackle comes through from Captain Bryce. The referee, Sean Berry, has another look at it. Reshort with the ball at his feet, midway inside his own half, just striding over the halfway line now. Plays the ball out to the feet, chips the ball over for Scott Harris to chase.
Oh, it's a good ball.
It's headed into Ed Smith almost, but well done by
Anson on
the far side. But McClurg now playing the ball into the feet of Smith. Smith outright towards Hollis, and it's driven in, but it's repelled only as far as the edge of the box to McClurg again. Chips it towards the far post. Well grasped out the air by Phillips. Plenty of time to touch the ball. As if you're joining us late on, Slough trailed by 2-0 at half-time, just like in the other game earlier this season at
poor kick by
Winterfield
Phillips.
Road, and Phillips gives the ball straight back to Slough, which they're happy with. Parsons on the far right-hand side misplaced the pass, and it's now up for Jeffries, coming a long way from the defender, pushed over by Wilson, and Wilson not very happy. Davies throws his arm in disgust. I don't think Paulton will be marking down Sean Barry for a Christmas card this season.
No, not at all. I don't think he's given the conditions into some of the considerations there. I don't think that was too much of a foul, to be honest.
No, but I think the key critical decision that people will be aware of is first sending is... And Slough take the lead for the first time this season against Paulton.
You look at the Paulton Rovers' heads now; they've totally dropped.
Well, they did manage to throw away a 4-1 or 4-2 lead against Poole at home the other week and lose 5-4.
They did indeed, didn't they?
And this is similar. And the
substitution though.
So the goal awarded in 79 minutes.
12 is Darren Jeffries waiting for him to come on, but we don't see who's coming off. Look what's going on there. Look, Wilson's got Jeffries. He's got him in a headlock.
I'm not quite sure what's going on there. That was quite interesting.
I think Jeffries wasn't trying to give the ball back quickly, and Wilson's just on top of him. Jeffries is riding him like he was a horse and a cowboy.
Jeffrey is very, very muddy now.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of interest now as Paulton have to come back and get something from the game. Slough against 9 men haven't done particularly well. Talking of Merthyr next week, that was a team who they went down to 9 men against and ended up losing by a single goal. They lead by a single goal at the moment as we go into the final 10 minutes of this match as McClurg chests the ball back to Sear. Sear out to Fraser. Fraser manages to give the ball away to Davies,
it's Bryant.
Bryant, who's on a hat-trick.
Knowles actually.
Who's got forward, and now it's to Davies.
Davies on a hat-trick.
Tagging into the box. Left foot swinger, it's
offside. He blocked it. He off his own goal.
He put that wide.
Wilson.
Wilson
Davies has hit the ball across the goal.
It can't be a corner, referee.
And Wilson has slid in, and it's hit him on the bum, and he's actually kept it off the goal line. It's then hit his arm and gone out for a goal kick. Wilson, very much like Ryan Moss, has just saved Slough from conceding a goal.
He almost took it off the line, put it wide, and Luke Knight's got a big old grin on his face.
I feel sorry for him, actually, because he's had a very good game today, and I think if he'd have touched it and gone in, he would have been offside. But as it was, he's kept it out of the goal.
It said 5 for 9, so off is coming Scott Harris. Goal scorer of how many? We think 2, maybe even 3.
2 or 3.
And on comes the bearded Johnny Dyer.
I think Bryce is going off.
Bryce is making his way as well.
Bryce is off for Paulton Rovers, and Darren Jeffries is on. And then Johnny Dyer is coming on for Scott Harris.
So Bryce has had a hell of a game. 81st minute, these substitutes taking place. Slough lead 3-2. Johnny Dyer on for Scott Harris. And it's all really kicking off, isn't it? I don't know what else is going on.
So if you are a first-time listener, or
it's always this exciting.
Yeah, of course it is.
As Slough continue to press with the substitute Johnny Dyer on the ball, flicks the ball forward, well repelled by Anson, who seems to be of one of 3 at the back, and Sear battling well now, and now high foot there, but bravely in by Fraser, and Luke Knight nutmegs his manager, and then that was a horror attack.
Yellow card.
That seemed to be a horrible. Both players lost their feet, and this game potentially could boil over. Certainly at the end, I think it might. There's plenty of tension outside as Jake Parsons on the right hand wing plays it into
Johnny Dyer.
Johnny Dyer crosses it across, ball repels to the edge of the box, and Parsons is the first person to get it, and he plays a heavy touch in, but Johnny Dyer keeps it on the far side, plays it back to Parsons. They're combining well. Johnny Dyer must have been offside there. He is in the far corner.
He's got to go back and book Luke Knight because he's seen the tackle.
Both of those players absolutely dived in.
Yeah, but he pointed. Luke Knight clearly caught Anson afterwards. He pointed.
Well, I just think he was trying to say calm down. I mean, I don't know whether.
But why has he not gone back and done a booking?
Yeah, I'd be very perplexed. Who scored the third? The third was scored by Harris. Harris definitely scored the third goal. Okay, there's a big puddle behind the goal to our... We're just being instructed by the PA that you shouldn't go down towards exit through the turnstile as Slough are trying to press it.
Davies.
But Davies, who's been probably man of the match, I would say. Strong, heavy tackle there. Tried to get taken out by Johnny Dyer.
The Paulton bench are absolutely fuming with that.
And then understanding why that isn't a booking. I think it was
Johnny Dyer.
Johnny Dyer making an impression.
He didn't catch the player, but
and he stood facing the Paulton. He just slaps his hands, but
he's just going over. The referee's just going over to the linesman. I think he's actually going to have a word with one of their bench.
Yeah, he is. He's going over to one of their bench. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. He seems to be going in the dugouts. I think this is going to end up with a red card for one of them.
He is. He's sending him off.
He's sent off.
I think he's just saying any more.
I don't think he's sent any more. I don't know. We'll have to keep a eye on that. That would make it 2 in a row because one of their last players. They're appealing to the assistant on that far side as to why that wasn't a booking. I can quite understand that. I mean,
that first one that Toby got sent off for. I don't think it was a great deal of difference apart from contact.
Luke Knight wins the header from the free kick though, and now attacking onto the ball is Adrian Sear, the substitute. Just flicks the ball around the corner to Ed Smith. He's still Ed Smith just inside his own half. Plenty of space out there on the right for Jake Parsons. Jake Parsons up against Gibbon. Gibbons does well, but Parsons still has the ball. Does a Cruyff turn, passes it all the way back to the right back of Guy Hollis, who's cantering after the ball inside to Sear, inside the centre circle, back to Jeffries. Jeffries underhits the ball across the pitch, and Slough trying to play football that is beyond the conditions. And across comes Yorkie as ever, tidies it up. Great ball up the line.
Luke Knight is unmarked.
There's plenty of space for Slough. They're playing up against 9 men. We're into almost the final 6 or 7 minutes. Luke Knight driving into the left-hand edge of the box. He's still got the ball at his feet. Cuts back inside.
Good tackle.
Overruns it by Anson. Flick back to Knight. Knight, edge of the box, facing towards his own goal. Back to Sear. Sear out right to
Jake Parsons.
Parsons. Plenty of time to pick a pass. Chips it into the box. Headed in. But
good
great
save.
reaction save there. Edge of the box. It's flicked in by Luke Knight.
Another save.
Even better save there by Phillips. Twice in the last 30 seconds to push that ball round the post.
Fantastic goalkeeping by Carl Phillips. He's trying to keep his team in this game. That first one was a great save, but that second one, Luke Knight's lined that up. He's curling it into the bottom corner. Full length, strong fit. He's just touched it round the post. Good play by Slough, but great goalkeeping.
Oh, great goalkeeping. Oh, sorry.
So we're just waiting.
Corner for Slough,
Parsons.
far side, drilled in, headed away by Anston. It's all the way across to the far side where Luke Knight will just keep the ball in play. Davis is coming across at vast space, and that is a hell of a tackle.
No, the referee's playing play
He's
on
playing
for some
advantage,
reason.
but Luke Knight is still crumpled in a heap down there to the left-hand side, and Sears is stood up there. Slough still attacking down that far side. The longer this goes on, I think the referee has to take serious
gonna
action.
go and book him?
But that was Davis, and he slid from a long way. And now there's plenty of pushing and shoving going on down in that far left-hand corner. If they get another player sent off, do we have to abandon the game?
No, it's 7's a minimum.
I'm not sure exactly. There's plenty of fans standing up and having a look down in the left-hand corner. Can't see exactly what's going on.
He's getting his card out.
And this is to Davies, we understand.
I'm not sure.
Oh, no, not Davies.
No, I think it might be the substitute, Gibbons. Sorry. Gibbons.
As we still just wait. Slough are going to restart play in a moment. There's plenty of players standing in front of us.
Definitely a yellow card this
and
time.
That was a yellow card this time. So we've got about 5 minutes or so remaining, plus injury time. Here at Holloway, Slough lead 3-2. It's a bit of an bad-tempered game at the moment, but thankfully all the players are back on their feet. And I think that's Adrian Sear just getting a talk through, or is it McClurg? I think McClurg's... McClurg hasn't been called.
Luke Knight.
Luke Knight just having a little word there with the players. It's
I think the referee's just saying, look, I'm refereeing it, I saw it, you just let me do my job.
Sear and Luke Knight on the near side. Pass it all back to Fraser. Fraser's going to chip the ball into the box. Plays it along the floor to the edge to McClurg. McClurg all the way back. Hollis didn't really want it there, but it's to Hollis. And now Hollis passes Parsons into trouble. And Parsons gives the ball away. Now Paulton are on a foot race. Slough need to put a foot in. And why on earth they're playing themselves into trouble so much, I have no idea.
Guy Hollis done the tackle there, but they're silly, aren't they? They've got full control of this game at the moment against 9 men, and they're giving the ball away silly. And it's down the left-hand side.
And Paulton driving towards the box. Well-timed tackle. And now Slough have plenty of time and space to pull the ball away. Long ball driven away. Anston deals with that well. And Paulton, despite the fact they've only got 9 players, seem to be picking up the rebounds.
They've got 3 up front now.
Yeah, they're really going for it. And it's back with... it looks like Knowles, I think, in the right back position, one of the cleanest players on the pitch, plays the ball through. Well dealt with by Fraser, and now Luke Knight's got plenty of time and space. Put it down into the corner, Luke. Luke's got the ball. Just passes it to Fraser. Fraser inside to Sear. Sear just midway inside his own half. Plays it to the feet of Parsons. Parsons opens his body up. Just gets caught there by Gibbons as the ball goes past.
A few tackles just going in at the moment.
I can see the referee being converged upon after this game as the ball's played into the right-hand channel. Anston's after it. Tries to keep the ball in well. Does. Pass it back to Gibbons. Gibbons does well to play the ball through to Davies. Davies still deep in his own half, plays for a long ball through. And it's ricocheted off, but Fraser's going to be there to control it. He's going to go hard back to his keeper, put him in trouble, but a good left-footed solid clearance. And Luke Knight's now got a bit of a moment to pick it up before Knowles closes him down. Luke Knight, near side, lets it go out of play. Short throw back from Bryant. And Knowles does a nice little Cruyff turn. Left-footed ball chipped forward. Jeffries repels it, but it's going to fall to Bryant again, and Bryant's attacking into Davies. Davies towards the edge of the box. He's running through all the Slough defence again. He pulls the trigger. Blocked this time by Reece York, but it's still not away. And Wilson has it. Edge of the box. It's now ricocheted off another Slough player. It still can't get it clear in the left foot swing.
Jeffries.
The Jeffries for Paulton's Jeffries, as it were.
Yep.
Blazes the ball over the bar, and Slough are not hurrying in anymore now to get that ball back.
And someone down on the ground there. Looks like McClurg, maybe?
Yeah, it could be McClurg. He had that dead leg from last week. Slough have made their 3 substitutions. They've emptied the bench. I mean, they are 2 players up at the moment, so they could afford to leave one to go, as it were. So, if you've just joined us late, we're in the final minute, the 90th minute here at Holloways Park. Paulton took a 2-goal lead in the first half, slightly against the run of play, but they capitalised on their chances. Slough not able to capitalise on their chances. They've hit posts, and Phillips certainly has had a great day in the office for Paulton Rovers. They suffered an early sending off from Stuart Tovey, adjudged a harsh foul, I would say, and after that the game was fairly even. And Slough finally came back into it once Harris got on the score sheet, pulled a goal back, and then there was a critical moment of the game when Paulton were leaving 2-1.
Yeah.
and Paulton were leading 2-1, and they were through. And Reshaw had been booked, seemed to collide with Davis and take him through when he was clear on goal, but nothing doing at all by the referee. Slough went straight up the other end and scored and equalised. And since that point, Slough have been on top. More recently,
Walker got sent off on the 75th,
Walker sent off for a
didn't he?
second card, but Paulton now in this last 2 or 3 minutes have really started putting Slough under the cosh as we go into additional time here.
I think Paulton are literally playing with 2 at the back, 2 in midfield, and whoever's left up the front.
Full-time Dunstable 0, Cirencester 3. You'd have had a lot of money on that as a
free kick to Slough.
Free kick to Slough in front of the benches.
But Dunstable did that last season. They started really well, and then they went through a bit of a blip where they lost like 4 out of 5 games. So same's happening again.
Truro 2-0 at St Neots, I think, as far as we're aware. Slough are pushing forward now. They've got plenty of players forward, but they're not going to try and do too much, I think, with this one, as Jeffries in a darkened shirt since he had that little coming together with Wilson after that last goal.
Plays the ball
straight
down the side,
almost like a rugby kick. Just puts it down into the corner and out of play. So just wasting a little bit more time.
Be doing that really. Throws it back to Phillips.
And Ryan Parsons, day gets a little bit better. He's won £95 in the 500 club apparently. So he had his little under-9s out on the pitch before the game. And
that's a free kick to Slough.
There's another free kick for Slough. I'm not sure exactly why. The ironic applause there from the Paulton bench.
I think it's to take the throw in again.
It's a throw in again as we're going into the 47th minute here at Holloways. It's quite a quiet scene now. The rain has kind of passed
I can
us
see
through.
a couple of stewards there looking to escort the referee off, I would believe.
Yeah, especially after what happened at Banbury the other week. I think they'll be keen to do that quite quickly as the ball's still deep in the Paulton half, but they're looking to break away, and 2 Slough players collide there as they kick each other.
That's Hollis and Parsons.
But Captain McClurg puts it through, and it's 3-on-2. McClurg out to Johnny Dye. Johnny Dye left foot shot, but straight into the arms of Phillips, but he got plenty behind it, and now he'll look to clear the ball. One of his first kicked clearances. Bounces, double ricochet off Jeffries. That's for Slough.
And Reshaw
long clearance forward down the line, and now it has both Anston and the keeper. Phillips is after it, and Ed Smith slips awkwardly. Has he done his groin?
He seems to be still got. The keeper's going up the pitch,
and it's a throw into Slough. Couldn't keep the ball in. Gibbons on the far side.
Turned round and he's given the linesman some abuse.
What, for the ball going out?
Well, he went past Ed Smith as he came on, and he still had the ball, and then he's just kicked it out by slicing it, and he's trying to blame the linesman.
Merthyr, the opponents for Slough next week, 3 goals to the good against Wantage. A hat trick for Ian Trays.
I think that's his
Twitter handle.
I think his trainer or something his name is.
As Ed Smith has the ball, edge of the Paulton box, back all the way to Fraser, left back position, chips the ball back forward. Johnny Dyer underneath it. Headed back by the defender to the keeper, Phillips, and Phillips will look to get Paulton underway. Final throws of this game as we've played 48 minutes here. Jeffries does an awful header, and now Gogic is through his line, and they've struck it to the right hand.
Davies on a hat trick.
Davies on a hat trick, poked it with his wrong foot, his right foot, and Gogic had come out a long way, and it just went right of the post, and that at the very death could have been
What was Billy Jeffries doing?
The last couple of headers he's had haven't been ideal. Chippenham 1, Histon Town, who've been on a great run of form recently, 0 is another full time. So
Gogic taking his time on the goal kick, being told to hurry up.
Yeah, but that's not unlike Phillips has been doing for the majority of the game. As Slough trying to see this game out, but they were very
They're
lucky.
not winning the ball.
And they're giving the ball away. Considering Paulton have got 9 players, they are absolutely bossing this in the last few minutes. And Jeffries just about gets something behind that again. As the ball's played out
just
right
keep
to Jake
it,
Parsons.
Slough. All you've got to do, keep it.
Jake Parsons plays the ball down the line. Plenty of space there for Hatchett to do. Johnny Dyer to do a great turn. There's plenty of Slough bodies forward. Can they kill the game here? Jake Parsons, 30 yards from goal, on his right foot, plays the ball out to Johnny Dyer.
That's better, sensible.
On the right edge of the 18 box. Searcy's showing himself. Searcy has the ball. McClurg in plenty of space in the middle of the pitch. Wants the ball, and it's a bit of a hospital pass. And now Paulton once again pushing forward. And Davis just taken out cynically by Guy Hollis.
No, that was a better tackle. He got the ball that time.
He did not get
the
ball.
He did.
It would have come over him.
John, you're not watching the same game.
You're such a liar. He's wearing his specs. That was an awful tackle. That was a cynical get one for the team.
And he did. As he booked him, he has. I think that was Guy Hollis.
Yeah, full time. Corby 1, Chesham 1. So Corby continue with their winning, with their good form, but they can only manage a draw against Chesham. as we go into the final throws, and I think everyone for Paulton is going forward. The
I think the
keeper's on the
going
halfway
up.
line. They're full 8 outfield players, bar one player taking the kickers into the Slough box. They're going to just chip it in. Last death throws, and it's out all the way through.
No.
And, and cleared left and
By
out
Sean
for a throw
Fraser.
by Sean Fraser. How much longer are we playing? We've played 50
Jeffries
minutes
is
here.
Darren Jeffries going to take the throw.
Darren
in.
Jeffries takes the
So
throw.
Evans.
But
Good tackle.
one by Knight, and now through to...
The keeper's right, it's 2 against 1.
Knight takes a hell of a heavy touch, and the keeper's well out on the pitch. Plays it across right to Ed Smith, who's 30 yards from goal, running into the box. He's going to pull the trigger. He does! Breaks the goal, 4-2. Slough
He may
have
have
won
2
this
goals,
game.
we're not sure.
And Ed Smith scores in the 95th minute. And that is game, set and match for Slough after a hell of a game.
Yeah.
If you want entertainment, come down to Holloways.
You know that next week's going to be really boring now.
Oh my days. I'm just sorry if we've got things factually incorrect on today, both booking, substitutes, goals. It's all just gone a little bit mad, hasn't it, Ade?
Just enjoy the football.
Yeah.
Don't worry about us 2 idiots. Just enjoy the football.
I mean, this result could have honestly been pretty much any result, couldn't it?
Yep.
I mean, Paulton could have been 3-1 up. They then go straight down the other end and it's 2-2, and then Slough have scored. It could have been 3-3 a minute ago, but now it's 4-2.
Paulton just not even bothering now.
And now Paulton are
and that
utterly
is the final whistle.
frustrated. And Luke Knight punches the air as Slough celebrate. I am fascinated to see now. We're going to carry on with commentary just to see what the referee
There might be a
and
fight
the
again.
linesman do. There's the last time this happened, there was a little bit of a ruckus after the game, but the two teams seem fairly good natured. The two big burly stewards
poor old
come out.
Paulton walking off. They look totally dejected, don't they?
And it's a hell of a long trip now back for them in the coach.
Especially with the weather as it is. So
they
we do wish them a safe journey.
They never, ever, ever gave up. And I do think that one of their assistants may have been sent from the pitch because there's only one of them coming over to...
they're not even
celebrate.
going over to say anything to the referee. They're just walking off.
I just don't think they want to probably shake hands. Here he comes now, the manager for Paulton, and he's
just shaking hands.
He's shaking hands. He hasn't said a word.
He didn't shake the referee's hand. He shook the 2 linesmen's hand, but not the referee's hand.
And he's just saying he's now come back. He walked 5 yards away, and he must have said something. I'm not quite sure what. His arms are out a lot. You can understand for him particularly. I think if Slough were on the receiving end of some of the decisions today, they'd feel hard but done by.
At the moment, the Slough fans are clapping the Rebels off, but that could have been so totally a different outcome to the game.
And there's very much a strong presence guarding the referee. I'm not sure how many Paulton fans are likely to jump over. I hope you've enjoyed this coverage. Please contact us at MyFC Rebels Radio. Let us know what you think of the feedback and anything else. As the referee just making his final way off the pitch. Credit to Paulton though. They made this a hell of a game, and they could have easily gone away with 3 or 1 point from this.
Yep, very true. And I'm sure that, like you say, Sean Berry won't be on the top of their Christmas card list. But the referee has influenced the game, and there's been an assessor here now. Whether that's part of it, we don't know, but it's definitely made the game a little bit more entertaining in this horrible damp weather. And we do wish everybody a safe journey home tonight.
Yeah, there's plenty of other games on, obviously, in this league at the moment. Frome 0, Redditch 2, St Neots 0, Truro 2. Hitchin 0, Weymouth 3. So Weymouth continuing with their great form, and particularly with Paul not playing, it's going to put a bit of pressure on them up at the top. Corby only could manage a draw today. Bideford 2, Banbury 2. So Bideford came back strongly to draw 2-2 at home to Banbury United. So hell of a lot of goals. Very interesting games out there. Hope you all enjoyed it. We will be live on air for Slough's next game, which is a home tie. The Rangers coming down, so we're not going to actually go anywhere right now, are we, Adrian? So we might as well stay on air for a second or two while we'll stay on air for a minute while we just kind of catch up with some of the other scores and results. But we are on air live 2:55 next week as Slough Town host Merthyr Tydfil, who are flying top of the league in the South West Division 1 league, and obviously beaters of Slough last year in the trophy. So there will be some settles to score there. Some settles to score?
Some settles to score. That sounds about right, doesn't it?
Apparently on the Paulton Twitter it's come in that they lost 4-2 Hashtag 13 versus 9, not fair. So I think
that's not a bad actual thing to say.
I'm not sure how you
actually.
can get to 13 though. Perhaps that's the linesman
One
and
of the linesmen.
and
This poor guy that was running down here, he was too wet to notice anything. So yeah.
Yeah, he was kept out of it a little bit, but wow, just wow! It was a hell of an interesting game. What a lot of fun to be had there.
Someone's nicking me flag. Where's he going with me flag?
Oh, don't worry about your flag. Frome 0, Redditch 2 still is the other score we've got in there. Frome 0, Redditch 4. Redditch going to town again with the scores, and we'll have to wait and see what happens next week. Anyway, Adrian's after his flag. We're going to sign off now. Thank you very much for listening. Hope you enjoyed it wherever you were in the world. Hope you've enjoyed listening to a Slough victory. I don't think it was always a certain victory, but they've got there in the end.
It's been a very, very good game of football,
and
with plenty of excitement and plenty of hysterical meanderings from us.
Yeah.
And
apologies for any kind of we're a bit stir crazy. Anyway, we'll see you all soon. Take care.
Club.co.uk. Come on, you rebels! You're listening to Rebels Radio.